Hello. Yes, sir. सिम नेटवर्क पूछ रहे हो। sec. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna put the screen.
I'm here only, bro.
Interesting.
What happened, bro? What?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't even matter.
Bro, I am here only, bro.
Can you hear Jin is talking to you?
No, I cannot hear his audio.
Why?
I don't know.
Even I cannot hear anything from you.
Okay, both of them cannot hear you. I'm here only.
भाई मेरा अलग
इतना बताओगे तो कैसे पता चलेगा?
तो मेरा अभी लाइफ में बहुत अभी कुछ टाइम से बहुत कुछ चीजें चल रही है. Don't please.
So is it my problem? It's your problem.
Yes. वाईफाई मेरे को देखने का मन कर रहा है बस. 2 days have already passed, and now we're down to the third day of this India Open finals, or the playoffs as we can say. But the amount of action and the amount of intensity in all the matches that we have witnessed so far, it seems to be, extraordinary. But yes, in the upcoming days, we will also be seeing the grand final in LAN. That means the players will be, flying down to a venue. They will be playing in front of the audience. But that being said, today is going to be the day 3, and we all welcome you back to Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. Alongside me, I have Lucifer joining me live on the desk for the first match broadcast.
I'm super excited because yesterday we saw a ferocious, phenomenal Pokemon fight coming through where we saw our winners being Clown5 and the other team was unable to battle. And today we will see one of their games again, but it's going to be towards the end. But because of that firepower ending that we saw yesterday, the fierceness that the trainers had, I'm just expecting a lot more right now as we start off from the winner brackets today and look forward to a journey, because I think in the winner brackets, matches have not seemed so close, or I would say is not so competitive, or I would feel like so fierce. If that happens here in starting things off, because the first game on hand is going to be a power pack game, Necros. I'm hoping for it. Let's see what kind of takes place there.
I mean, obviously, if you just remember the past tournaments that happened, especially the WCS regional qualifiers, the lower bracket always seems to be way more interesting than the upper brackets.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know every time why we see this in Pokemon Unite, but maybe this is the beauty of this game, and it's specifically the tournaments. In the lower brackets, there are certain new teams, those who are the newcomers, or I can just say the new generation of the upcoming stars. So they are also grinding hard. They're also, coming up with some new strategies to counter and play against the experienced ones, and they're giving them a very tough time. Yesterday, we saw
Mm-hmm.
SATUL taking an exit from this India Open 2023,
Yeah.
which was definitely a big shock for all the audience, but also it's a big start for the new teams or the new players, that those who think that yes, we can also go up and dominate the scene.
Let's jump into the brackets, give them a gist or detail of all the things that have happened so far. And if somebody is new, you will get to know who your teams are still in the race. Starting things off, as you can see, we have winner bracket round 3 that we'll be seeing Team Griffin versus Team True Gravity. Next is going to be FSC Sports and Forge Your Legacy. Coming into lower bracket round 2, as round 3 still needs to find its contestants. Round 2 already has Revenant Esports and Learn From Past. And the second game in the lower bracket is going to be NDY versus Clown5. And Clown5 is the game that I spoke about, where they had decided the entire best of 3 in the first 2-minute mark itself. That's how demolishing they were. So I'm worried for the other teams who are bringing in their Pokemons, because they're going to put them to the Pokemon Center in a jiffy.
And definitely Najai will be ready to treat them right. But eventually, when we talk about the other upcoming teams, yes, from the winner bracket in round 3, 2 of the teams will be moving down to the lower brackets, and from the lower brackets, as what we are seeing, Revenant Esports will be facing Learn From Past, those who have defeated the mighty SATUL in the lower bracket round 1, and they have made their place in the second round. I'm looking forward to see what do they have to offer in front of the newly formed Revenant Esports, because they seem to be struggling a little bit in these days.
See, I right as of now see like every team is having their struggles, because we've seen a lot of roster changes, Nikros. I think that is what is causing trouble for teams, because imagine if they don't perform right now, India Open's opportunity gets missed, and from India Open their Asia Champions League's journey also gets missed, and they have to wait for WCS, which is going to be down a couple of months. So any teams right now going out, as we did speak about it right before India Open, it was a little bit of a gap where we see a lot of new Pokemons joining the fray, but not a lot of Unite competition, which pushed players to the bigger stages. And now with India Open coming back again, qualifiers already happened. A lot of I would say star players even in the qualifiers got eliminated and could not make it to the playoffs bracket. And now there are some teams who have already been pushed out, 2 teams, and we have 8 teams as of now today. And from them 8, we are again going to see 2 more being eliminated. And their journey eventually from India Open's champions to ACL, and later down the line the Worlds coming through, where I'm just waiting for my ticket in case that happens with the Worlds in Hawaii. Already with the Hawaiian vibe, but I'm not too sure who the teams are going to be, because Necro's journey right for Hawaii is long. I've not gone so far, but a journey that other players will try to take is going to be in the draft one. Let's jump into that. Apart from the small dad jokes that I was trying to crack, we have our ban phase coming in, Necros. What are your picks coming through in the ban?
Well, if by observing the previous matches, a Hoopa ban is what I will expect, because you don't eventually would like to have that Hoopa support for the opponent's team, because that is some real trouble for anybody, with those hyperspaces, and that is what we are seeing inside of Team Griffin. A Zacian and a Hoopa ban from both the ends.
I think as of now, from side of True Gravity, it should have been a player ban coming through rather than a generalized support ban. Let's see what the first choice is going to be. In the recent times, it's been Mew, and especially the Beamer Mew, who's been devastating. Yes, we have seen Mewtwo as well causing troubles in the ranked lobbies. Therefore, Mewtwo, if viewers are wondering why there's no Mewtwo as of now in the competitive circuit is not allowed. Every other Pokemon is, meaning Mimikyu is also allowed, which we have not seen being picked. Melon coming in. Melon have picked themselves the Umbreon. We saw Melon how wonderfully he played last time. Meriam sticks onto the Blaziken, and we spoke about the Blaziken's performance on Meriam. He proved a fact to their opponents.
And instantly we also see Zisol picking up that Inteleon. Yesterday's Inteleon action was really something that we witnessed, and especially coming up in the later matches where we saw the snipe shot being used very nicely. Yes, it does take a lot of chances, because if you miss it, the entire value goes down. So it's a risky move itself, but also if you play on the liquidation, there is a sure hit possibility that you can get. But on the other hand, we will be seeing Mikey going with the Clefable alongside a Glaceon. We also witnessed Glaceon being so much fruitful for the teams yesterday.
Let's see how it works out right now. Griffin versus Gravity. And right as now, I'm looking forward to the last pick coming in from Vixion. Yesterday also we saw a lot of Venusaurs coming through, even the Beamasaur as well as the Giga Drain. Quickly, we'll talk about the battle items coming in the preparation phase as we move towards the side of True Gravity. Griffin, my bad, is going to be Ghoul, who has the attack weight on Leafeon. Is going to be interesting. Yesterday we saw the Leafeon commanding the game from the start from Clown 5, so I hope it doesn't happen for the sides of Gravity. On the other end, when we talk things through here, Merriam, I think his attack weight is also going to be super crucial. But one thing with the energy amplifier that Venusaur's come through, the Verdant Anger, I think they look forward to activating it a lot. And also you can see the incense being there, right? The cursed one. So the special attack damage, if it does, HP reduction, that is going to cause a lot of trouble. And I'm looking forward to how that works. But again, Glaceon getting back into the fights, that's what I'm super interested, because Necros, I'm pretty sure you remember the day, right, where Glaceon was so overpowered that it ended up being a Pokemon which people used to ban as well.
I mean, you wouldn't like to face those icicle spears coming along the way, because if you are a kind of person or supporter, you want to make a fallback, those are something that can cause some real damage or the real trouble for you. But again, after Glaceon got nerfed, it seemed to us that it might just go out of meta. But again, every other Pokemon, if you can play it nicely, if you are a master in playing in it, there I don't think you will face a lot of consequences. But that being said, the first match goes underway. This BO3 series between Team Griffin and True Gravity, out of which one team will lose their one lifeline in this India Open, then they will move down to the lower brackets, but the other one will move forward in the winner brackets itself.
One thing for sure that I'm kind of going to be enjoying on the side of Griffin is going to be the evolutions coming through. Where on True Gravity sense, it's only one Melon that is going to be playing on it. So we'll see, he's going in for the early goals coming through. But he might get even KO'd because the Leafeon is evolved. He needs to run away, uses the XP and makes the run rather than giving the first KO. So on both the ends, we see the early goals with Ghoul. Even though he has the attack weight, he's not gotten his first stack through. So that's something that he has to look forward to. But Merriam, he gets his stack and he's now back.
He's just trying to level up himself as fast as possible. But you just can see like 3 to 4 players from the side of at least 3 players who can be in the top lane, and definitely Blaziken, like Medium specifically, will be needing a lot of help, and that's why we see the Venusaur coming into the play, be on the top lane, trying to help him, and that might just bring him a lot of value. At this very start, Griffin looking for successful stacks themselves, while the Altarian Swablues will be going in favor of True Gravity with that beautiful solar beam from the side of Venusaur. But instantly they want to make a back out. Umbreon also completing his stack in the bottom lane. Just make sure that he levels up faster, as in a comparison to Medium. He's trying to make a stop to it, but the goals are just coming all the way. Fusion also is quite aware that if he gets the solar beam active for himself, he can find a lot of value, and that's why he's doing it. Just supporting his supporters, specifically the Clippible, trying him, like letting him to go with the scores and stack up as fast as possible. But for Medium, he's not getting a lot of chances, but that points coming up from the side of Leafeon will create a lot of hindrances for the side of True Gravity. But that being said, Melon, we see him on the bottom lane being all alone, but there's a lot of mid stack coming. There's a lot of contention in the legendary pit as of now, but that gives a lot of room for Umbreon to go with those small scores and instantly, slowly and gradually boosting his XP with that Snarl. He's also trying to put a lot of damage, but I really wanted that this Umbreon as well as this Venusaur combination in the I would say composition in the lineup can create a lot of problems for the side of Team Griffin if they're not able to counter. But as it seems, the early game, there is a big level difference working out for Team Griffin, as the Leafeon has already evolved to level 8, while the new and Glacier will also create a lot of problems. The Solar Beam comes into the play, and still all those Swablues and Altaria are going into favor of True Gravity. Will a little bit of impact, I would say, at this point. But in terms of score, yes, Team Griffin, they are a bit forward, but in the span of 6 more seconds, both the Regis in the top and bottom lane will be spawning, while Team Griffin is looking much more forward to get this Registeel in their favor, while Umbreon might just hop in the right form. The Snarl will be stunning the Leafeon at this point, but Clipper trying to handle the pressure, comes up with a Unite, commits a Unite goal in the distance, trying to avoid those approach from the side of True Gravity. But at this point being said, those points coming under the way, but Inteleon will be the one to secure the registry in their favor. The approach from Griffin has been denied by those Unites, getting committed by Glacian as well. Two Unites from Leafeon and Glacian both being in the vein, but Venusaur at last commits a Unite and instantly forces Griffin to back out from this position, while Blaziken, he's single-handedly melting the Regilic at the top.
Right now it is a little bit of a small lead that Griffin has. They have to still capitalize. You spoke about Blaziken getting control of things, but he was only able to score a 20, not a big 40 dunk coming in. That means that there have not been a lot of instances to get AOS energy, but Merriam, okay, the overheat, was it a misclick? I think so, but thankfully there was nobody to make a hit on him. He'll be able to survive and run. The Blaze Kick right as of now. Along with his teammates, he's moved up towards the top path, gearing up for a team fight coming through. Merriam is a little bit stuck right now. Icy Wind hit, and then comes in the liquidation to help over there. Therefore, Merriam survives and backs off.
Instantly we can see the pressure the Team Griffin are trying to put on. They had lost two of their crucial objectives at the very start when they had a approach, but instantly you can see Stag being done, the Unite committed by the side of Leafeon, but the goal zone will be destroyed by the side of Team Griffin. Instantly, the Unite being committed by Inteleon should find a little bit of value, but still there's a fallback. Mew comes up with the Mystical Mirage trying to push out True Gravity from their area, but it seems they want to go for a complete stack push, and that might actually work out. A lot of solar beings being committed by Leafeon, still trying to push all the players of True Gravity in the back end.
But True Gravity is not backing off. Nice control of things coming through, especially making sure that Merriam has his healing ongoing. Worked out really well. True Gravity will have all their players surviving. They finally broke the tier 1 on the top path, just like theirs was broken earlier. 92 to 143, True Gravity have taken away the lead. And look at this, Vulcan slowly moving in, going in for a score, but gets stopped. And Vulcan playing on a Blissey. We were talking about it, right? Vulcan has been that ranked Zacian spammer, but here as of now, he's playing for the team. This is where the versatility comes through. A quick jump from Melon coming through. Nice snarl. He doesn't have the mean look, therefore he couldn't find a catch on that Glaceon. Glaceon will survive, will back off. Also had to commit its Unite to run away back to the home base goal. I'm sorry, tier 1 of the bottom path to get the blue shield, but it looks to be there wants to be a steal, but a big solar beam, the steal happens. It doesn't work. The solar beam was a true super early, and therefore seems like there can be some chaos happening. Lixion from the backline, she is trying to help, but Melon goes down, and it's time for True Gravity to retreat.
Instantly the dodge from that solar blade helped Blaziken to survive at this pace, but instantly those solar beams are affecting Mew. All the time he is just going for the solar beam or trying to damage the opponents. True Gravity are able to dodge it every other time, but Blaziken instantly he backs out and went to the top lane. Glacian and Leafeon are still there, but the tier 1 goal zone in the bottom lane has still not been destroyed and not been damaged, like not been scored a lot. So they want to Team Griffin more as much as possible, but they also have to make sure, because if you talk about the tier 1 goal zone in the bottom lane, Gravity is still not touched, completely untouched, and right now it seems the complete stack push will be coming up from the side of Team Griffin. They want to go in, and they want to go with a heavy score while a lot of Unites being committed.
Melon going down is the cause of trouble here for Gravity, and Griffin taking advantage of it, and Noah playing brilliantly on that slow bro, acting that brilliant. Tank and Ghoul immediately jumps in 2-step, and then a solar boing coming through gets a KO, and Griffin back on the lead at 192. Regieleki on top has also spawned. Now they can go for the top Regieleki. Tier 1 of bottom has been destroyed for True Gravity. They cannot take it lightly. Quickly talking about level, it is going to be the advantage on Snowy, who is on level 13. Mew comes to level 12 as we speak, as goes for even the Leafeon. And then again tries to start things off. The Snarl to try and get a hold of Mikey, but Mikey is quicker on that follow me, as well as Moonlight coming through. Merriam and Melon unable to do anything. Now it's going to be a 3-man push coming through. Therefore True Gravity have to play it a tad bit slower. Zishol is ready to help out his teammates, but he knows he's an Inteleon. He cannot push in from the front line. Griffin, they've already started melting the Regieleki, and before Melon could even hit a Snarl, it gets a confirmation on that ice event. Somehow Merriam manages to close things out by taking the Glaceon down, but the other players back off, and Regieleki easily walking its path on the top path, making True Gravity's goal zone vulnerable.
At this point, True Gravity, they will be focusing on melting the Rayquaza, keeping all of their players alive in this final stretch, and instantly you can see how fast they're trying to melt it down. Well, Griffin, I really don't think they will be assuming this one, but a lot of Solar Beam coming underway, but Griffin, they're finally able to secure this Rayquaza in their favor, but it seems True Gravity, they're breaking the shields. That's the only approach that they can do, but it's a complete team KO coming up from the side of Team Griffin as they are all running down to go with the scores, and that two KO streak coming up from the side of Leafeon as well as Mew has walked out so brilliantly in the final stretch.
There's nothing that Gravity can do right now, especially because goals have been dunked from the side of Griffin. They can try and break those shields, but as of now, sitting at a 500 to a 143 lead, this game seems to be done. This battle is over. It is going to be Griffin winning it out. There is still time on the clock, 1 minute, but recovering so much AOS energy, like individually if you talk about it, every Pokemon that Gravity have, they need to have 50 AOS energy, and you can see Griffin, they're not even letting them get wild Pokemon and also wild AOS energy, if I would want to say it like that are lying around the ground. They're taking everything. Finally, there seems to be a bottom path push coming through, but you can see Ghoul maintaining his distance, pushing in from the back lines. Meriam is low. Leaf Blade does not connect, but his intentions on the Solar Boink was on the Venusaur. Then comes in the two-step, finds Meriam along with the help of the Mew, and the Blissey also goes. It's all down to Melon, and he also gets wiped by the Mew. A 2 KO streak, and the entire team has been wiped. True Gravity have nothing as a big 44 Snowy will done, get it to 88, and everybody else pushing to the home base goal zone to increase the difference, and Team Griffin will confirm this victory in this game number 1 of match 1.
They started off with a good level difference before the objectives came in, and then after the first objectives is completely secured by True Gravity, they were able to match up to the levels, but after that, Team Griffin's counter-attack and also the good approach of securing those objectives right from the hands of True Gravity helped them a lot. I mean, you just managed to steal, or I would say secure in front of the opposition team, and after that, catch up to your own level difference that you were able to start off with was literally huge. But talking about the entire stats, we just see a complete team contribution, I would say, coming up from the side of Team Griffin.
I mean, I think in the initial game as well, we did see Team Griffin were the ones who had things in the control. But I think in between, Gravity got a little bit in their favor. But as of now, I think once that bottom path fight happened and Glaceon was able to secure the Reggie, the objective was super crucial, and from there on itself, I think Gravity lost control of everything, and you could see Ghoul played super smart. He understood that they will try to isolate either Ghoul or even the Glaceon, and Glaceon also played very smart, used to move away from their opponents and made sure they survived. In terms of chaos, it's not going to be a brilliant big difference that you can see. As you can see, some people are 7 knockouts, 5 coming through. On the other end also we can see 4 and 3 knockouts coming through for Gravity, but we'll talk about the damage being dealt. Ghoul, as you can see on a speed series at 80,000, Meriam at 70,000 coming through, which is going to be an effective factor coming through. That's the reason we spoke about it. Their stacking coming through was crucial. Ghoul and Meriam, I think their stacks were very close to each other, therefore they were able to do enough damage together. But I think here somewhere Melon kind of ended up being that tank who was a little bit too early into fights, and his teammates were not there to provide enough support.
That's what it costed, I believe. You know, the Solar Beam from the side of Vixion were done nicely, I mean, committed in the right place, but eventually Team Griffin were able to dodge it a lot of number of times. We can see that's why the damage dealt, he's just being on 67. But talking about Illusion, he had over like 1 lakh plus damage in his name with that Solar Beam and constant support coming from his end. Also able to secure the Rayquaza in the final stretch was never too easy in like between all the fights that actually happened there. We can finally see the movesets that are being used, but in the early game, it was a very close contention between both the teams till the 4th minute marker, but after that one after another tier 1 goal zones being broken down by each other from the sides, but the scoring never stopped from both the ends. Even till the 8th minute marker, it seemed to me that yes, True Gravity can also make a comeback, while if Griffin were, you know, struggling a little bit before getting those objectives.
Stacking, we spoke about it. As you can see, it's later towards the 2nd minute to 6th minute mark. We can see the stacks coming in from Blaziken. and that was a 3 stack coming through. I think Ghoul had a similar one, nothing much to be worried about because already Ghoul along with his teammates have won the battle. But you can see, right, in terms of objective, I think that's what True Gravity had to concentrate also. The bottom objectives especially, and having a Registeel to secure, right, if it's there from the start. If it's a Regice or Regirock, it boosts your HP as well as defense. So battle seems to be still favorable for anybody. But once you get a Registeel, and if you're able to not secure it from the start, it causes trouble because you get an attack boost coming through, and that helps a team to kind of win an attacking fight or a team fight coming through either one of the paths. And I think that's where Team Griffin got things under control, especially again I mentioned that Registeel secure coming in from Glaceon. While almost everybody had drained its health, Nova moved in first, Glaceon right behind him and got that secure coming through. This is yet the first game of the best of 3. There is still a chance for Gravity as we jump into the draft phase again to see what changes they make, as True Gravity will now move over to the purple side, meaning they will get the chance of getting the first pick, Necros. Also, another thing that I kind of felt it fell a little bit flat was the Inteleon pick. It did come up with a liquidation, but we saw liquidation being a move which kind of pacified the opponents rather than find chaos on them.
I mean, they just tried. I believe that after seeing those previous day matches, they have witnessed that Inteleon on Snipe Shot can be very much effective because if it deals the damage, it can give you a lot of trouble from a distance. But if you miss the shot, that might create a lot of problems in the later stage of the game. That's why they went for liquidation. But the way they wanted to use Venusaur and Inteleon side by side, because Venusaur with the solar beam could have worked out for those secures, but also Inteleon on liquidation was there probably to support the front line, especially Umbreon. But the way Umbreon was stepping up and in front of the audience, being like tanking a lot of damage against the opposition team, it seemed to me like Inteleon cannot manage it up to provide him the support that he was required at that point.
I think in terms of changes, True Gravity, not too sure they need to be having a big one. We did see Vixion playing Chandelier. I think it worked out really well in the previous 2 matches as well to qualify to the winner bracket round 3. Maybe they bring it back here in the second round of this, I can say, kind of quarterfinals, because there is going to be the upper bracket finals after this. Something that I would want to see is going to be both these teams kind of making their move in the direction of the finals, but I'm pretty sure because being in the winner bracket position, right, it's not going to be easy for both the teams to qualify. One has to go through a loss, but if it's a 2-0 loss, I think I'm pretty sure Gravity will not be happy. Let's jump into the draft phase of this second game and see if there is a chance that things have been changed. As you can see from the right side, always on the orange end of things, it's always a Zacian ban, which has been a perma one. But on the left side, purple things, to make things interesting, we end up seeing a Mew ban coming through, making sure the chance of Illusion picking up the Mew and the beaming is going to be denied. So there are chances of the Inteleon coming back. The Venusaur is still in play, and I'm looking forward to whether the Inteleon gets picked up from the side of True Gravity.
If the Inteleon gets picked one more time, they have to make sure that they can just use it in a much more precise way. But given a chance, Vulcan starts off picking with the Hoopa, a supporter which is one of a kind. We always say it because I don't think in a comparison there can be anybody to provide those instant transportation of your Pokemon towards the home base. But once again on the counter, we see Illusion going with the Inteleon, while Goal will be sticking to the Leafeon itself.
Inteleon is there, but Melon still keeps sticking on to Umbreon. Aeos Cookie as well. Aeos Cookie goes for Miriam as well on the Blaziken with an attack weight. Stacking again, something that we spoke about. Looking forward to how much of a better stack we can see. Previously, Miriam was only able to get 3 stacks for himself. Noah coming in again with none other than the Slowbro, which worked out previously. Mikey played the Blissey, played the Cliffable previously. This time playing a Blissey, which was played from Vulcan. Let's see how it counters, right? Is now talking about countering. It is a Pikachu coming through. Looking forward to a little bit more stun and effective range. I'm not too sure if they're going to be sticking on to Pikachu or not, but Vixion, he comes in with a Dodrio. I remember his Dodrio. I think it was back in India Open finals, and man, that was amazing. And he was able to kind of turn the game around, and therefore Snowy decides, okay, there's a Dodrio in the mix. I think we need to increase the speed, make it a double speedster play coming through, and he goes in for a Zoro Arc with also an attack weight stack coming through.
a double speedster composition at this point. We see a Leafeon, we see a Zoroark in the very same composition, but itself coming with the Dodrio. Sam, I would like to have your opinion. What you would have to say about the Dodrio pick coming up from the side of True Gravity?
Yesterday I mentioned this. The recent times of Pokemon Unite, anything and everything can work. It's all about how the team functions and especially making your battle items work. If you make a miss on that, then your effective usage kind of goes down the drain. And because you can see there are stacking items coming through, teams or players need to make sure effectively they stack. If there are Eos energy loosely lying around, they need to tell the Pokemon which has stack on themselves to pick up that, get the stack done. So the double speedster coming through is going to be interesting, will make Team Griffin's play super fast, whereas for True Gravity I feel like it's going to trouble them. Umbreon especially, I even mentioned in the previous time, instead of picking the mean look, he went for the other move, and which kind of brewed in trouble. He did have the Snarl which did stun, but you could see he couldn't connect his next move, therefore there was not an immediate counter move coming through on the foul play. So as of now, let's see how it kind of works with Melon again. Maybe it was a little bit of a misclick, but as you did mention about Hoopa, in terms of fast rotations, I think that's something that I hope Gravity look towards.
That being said, let's just start the second match of this BO3 series, as Team True Gravity will be taking on Team Griffin for the second time in this BO3 series. They are fighting for their own survival in the upper brackets, but for Team Griffin, if they win this one, they will be instantly moving forward in the upper brackets itself. But that being said, that's the main question. A lot of speedsters coming into play after a lot of time. I mean, we do see Leafeon, and probably that's what we saw in the past 2 days, most probably. But yeah, seeing a Dodrio, seeing a Zoroark coming into the play. Also, I'm looking forward to see how they will be playing, but the stacks will be crucial. Blaziken, he needs to just do it a little bit much more faster, because in the previous match, it was close to Leafeon, but Leafeon could, he was able to found a lot of value in a comparison to Blaziken.
Early stacks coming in from True Gravity's end of things. Griffin still not have gotten a single goal. They've been just taking away the wild Pokemon so far. Sobble has been put in the Electro Web. Will not give up a KO, but Melon in the meantime has still not evolved to the Umbreon. He's not getting the Eos, and as you can see, he's sitting at 0. Zishal has been somehow grabbing the wild Pokemon and its experience, so they're 4 at 9. But Snowy hiding in the tall grasses, jumps in. Can he find the KO? He misses his opportunity, gets stunned, and the Dodrio helps. And now Snowy immediately has to run back to heal, and thankfully his teammates were also nearby, so they were able to counter the other moves and act as a wall, and therefore Snowy safely retreats back to mid path. In the meantime, Vulcan, he wanted to intervene. He has moved in Solar Boing from Illusion, as he also intervened that mid path. None of the interventions worked, but it looks like Vulcan is still sticking through with the Hoopa on the mid path towards the Griffin's end.
Oh, again medium. Got a good boing from their end, but instantly Team Griffin, they have a good approach in the tier 1 goal zone. Might just shatter at this moment. There will be a lot of scores while Zoroark is trying to pull up some good values. Needs to escape, but Dodrio doesn't let him get away with that. And that's a KO coming from his side, and probably Nova also. He has dealt a lot of damage. Trying to just go out with the serve, but the hyperspace is being activated at the right time. It will give the chance for Dodrio to go back and again patch himself up and come back to the battlefield to take the fight once again. And the bottom lane control, it's almost in the hands of Team Gravity, but in terms of score, Team Griffin have made a try.
Illusion trying to run away. Zoroark tried to help, did get a KO on the Combuskin, but Dodrio ended up picking up a KO on the Leafeon. But looks like Snowy doesn't want to stop. Big damage coming through on Vulcan, but the blue shield on the goal zone helps. He survives. Dodrio is back. Vixen, can he find? He's trying with a try attack, but Snowy dodges that, and now Snowy is moving in again, gets one big KO, and Vulcan is down. But Vixion, his try attack is count down to a cooldown, so therefore Snowy can act in again, try to swoop in, but the wild Pokemon takes up the damage rather than the Dodrio. Therefore Dodrio survives. Snowy is still trying to function with a feint attack, finds again on the Combuskin. He's not stopping. Blissey is helping him. Mikey consistently healing him. Again the X coming through, but Snowy, he now has to worry because the other players have all ganged up at the top path, and Snowy finally goes down along with his healer as well. And finally Team Gravity will be able to truly put things down to a rest.
A good comeback, I would say, coming up from there. And then there's a big score coming. 6 more scores to destroy the tier 1. And they want to go for the overdone. They will have an overdone of 28 scores on the top. And that being said, the tier 1 goal zone of the top lane has been completely taken down. And now they will be waiting for to melt down this Regiliki at the first, because it might be a big opening for the side of Team True Gravity once again. But Team Griffin, how are they going to make a fallback? Snowy have already invaded the jungles of Team True Gravity. While it seems the Unite being committed by Leon will not find a lot of value, because the trio finds a key on him. While Leon with those beautiful solar blade trying to do a lot of damage, while Slowbreeze is handling the front end. Leon will not be able to escape this time. Sorak also pops in, and the trio, he finally trying to break through it. He's trying his level best, but he cannot survive in front of all those people. But still, it's a KO coming up from their end. Pikachu also comes as Unite, but Team Griffin, they're fighting it way too hard and going off with a lot of chaos in their name.
Again, Snowy swoops back again for a fight, finds the KO as well. Looking forward to his team moving in the right direction of goal zones and dunkings and destroying tier 1s. And they get an overdunk of a 40, and Griffin back on track with a lead of 198. Extra goals of 67. Again trying to move in, Melon at the right time with the snarl, jumps in, finds the KO along with the snatch of that Regieleki, and Griffin were unable to do anything. Now they have to defend their tier 2 on the top. In the meantime, Noah will have to waste some time, because there's also the force coming in of a push towards the bottom path. Melon in the meantime trying to kind of have a chance to push that Regieleki, their 6th member for the team as of now. Dodrio quickly getting a lot more stacks, as you can see, but Snowy makes sure that he punishes him. There's already rings unbound out, and Noah goes down to the bottom path, and now we have to see if there's a chance that True Gravity will be able to actually destroy. Yes, they destroy as they get control of the bottom path and take away the lead from Griffin to 221, and immediately jump to the Registeel, which will provide them an attack boost. And there's no contest coming in from Griffin. True Gravity here are avenging their loss on that first game.
They want to rectify their mistakes this time, and look at the kind of approach or the time that they are buying for themselves. Instantly, by the distraction of Regiliki, they got the control in the bottom lane as well. But Hoopa is still fighting it out. Team Griffin, they're trying to defend their tier 2 goal zones as no matter what it takes. But Leafeon is just the only one on the top lane, as what we see. But Zoroark, he's not able to function the way we expected from his side.
Again going in for a score at the bottom. 10 gets scored, Zishal unable to stop it, and behind that 14 also gets scored. Snowy misses his feint attack, and now Mikey in trouble. Even Snowy also, as they gang upon him with 3 players. Somehow he's trying to run away, makes use of the Unite, but it fails utterly, and now things have gone down to the drain. In the meantime, Leafeon pushes up for a big 50 score, but they're chasing a lot more of their players. A lot more Pokemons get fainted. Illusion gets stopped, but his goal does not.
Oh, he commits a Unite again once more time, but it's now 8 more seconds for the Regiliki to come into the play. But Leafeon, the way he just survives, it was really something that I did not expect, even after the hyperspace hole coming into the play. Yes, there were a lot of resets coming up from the side of True Gravity. They had a little bit of lead for some time, but Team Griffin, they again managed to get the control in their favor. They're waiting for one good opportunity. Still 1 more minute to go for the Rayquaza to come in and make into the final stretch. But now both the teams have to contest for all the objectives. Even Leafeon as well as Zoroark, they want to just get this Regiliki no matter what. While we will be seeing that Umbreon might just be able to seal, but no, it doesn't work this time, as this Regiliki will be going in the favor of Team Griffin, as they will be moving down for the bottom Reggie itself, because if they get it, it might
30 seconds on the clock. If they get the Reggie on the bottom, it's going to be an advantage. Not sure who's going to get. Merriam is ready in the tall grasses. He's going to try and swoop in for his steal. In the meantime, Noah finds him, comes in from the back lines, clears him off the tall grasses. Noah trying to get the last hits, making sure, along with his teammate Inteleon, Liquidation as well as Solar Boink ready. And Merriam's overheat does not connect. With a focus blast, immediately retreats. But that Reggie advantage, also the experience, all in favor of Griffin. But in the meantime, look at the goal scoring speedy machine of that Dodrio. Has pushed True Gravity's advantage to 309 compared to the 272 of Griffin. It's time for the final fight here. Can they secure the Rayquaza? Griffin, if they do it, they'll close the series on a clean sweep. Otherwise, it's going to be True Gravity pushing it to the third one. Snowy sneakily made his way towards the tall grasses. He's hiding right as of now, and he's given his trustworthy toward his teammates, telling them you have to be the top and anchors and tanks. Vixion in the meantime, the scoring machine, scores another. And in the meantime, there's also a 60 score coming in, and this is the advantage that Griffin takes. They decide that their teammates are separated. If we separate the other surviving players, we can take them all down. Melon gets united with a slow beam coming through to counter things off. Dodrio comes in from the back lines, but it only ended up being a 1 KO. Now they have to find counters. 3 players is still surviving. Make it another KO as Dodrio finds Snowy. Make it a double one as he finds the Blissey. Illusion trying to survive, but the Dodrio is not going to let him. Nova finally comes in to help Illusion here. Vulcan is also going to be there. A quick phantom move coming through, but unfortunately Illusion's teleport retreat did not work back to base. Now Nova is just trying to buy time for his teammate as he goes back to her full heal. In the meantime, True Gravity, because of the goals that they were able to dunk, they're at 407, and Griffin badly need this Rayquaza in this final stretch.
A lot of Unites will be committed at this point. Team Griffin, they are very much desperate for this Rayquaza to come in their favor, but a lot of chaos coming from the side of Team True Gravity as well. The Leaf and the Zoroark, both of the speedsters have been taken down. Interior goes down as well, but the Hoopa, he gets it. The Rayquaza comes in the favor of Team True Gravity, and that being said, they will be going for some more scores. At least a score of 300 will be coming up from the side of True Gravity, and that marks an equalizer in the series by the side of Team True Gravity.
I think this game all ended up becoming an advantage because of Pikachu's Unite. If that Pikachu's Unite did not come into play at the time when Griffin had jumped on them, also had found the KOs, I think True Gravity would have given away this victory to Griffin. Griffin were almost about to get themselves a team KO against True Gravity. A nice battle, and Team True Gravity will be the ones who will be winning this round as of now in the best of 3. So we'll be jumping into the decider between these two. But a great game coming in from Zshal towards the end, and especially Vixion as well as Miriam chiming in at the right time as he saw that Melon and Vulcan were forced to a KO. They both swoop in, and I think Vixion also not coming his Unite super early, right? Once he had done the damage with his tri-attack, then uses his Unite, and that's where he found the KO, making it a 2 KO streak, even taking down the Blissey. And once the healer was out, once the ranged attacker was out, and especially the main damage dealing problem Snowy was taken down, Gravity knew it was their game.
The way they oppressed the speedster, specifically Vixion, every time we just saw a head-on battle against Zoroark, he was the one finding a lot more value as compared to Snowy. But again, going with those sneak scores, if you talk about Blaziken as well as Trio coming up, getting those scores sneakily done in the final stretch and finding a lot more value, pressurizing Team Griffin to go for the Rayquaza no matter what, because even Team Griffin knew that they had already done a lot of sneaky scores. So if we don't get the Rayquaza, we won't be able to win this one.
Right, as now in terms of damage, if we speak, you can see the highest damage coming in from side of Team True Gravity is 71,000 on Vixion's end. But on the other end, Snowy, you would have thought we could have seen a lot more coming through, but I think towards the end they finally found a way to shut him down, and especially they knew how Snowy was playing along the likes of that Blissey to get that constant healing. That's the reason, as you can see, Mikey has not been consistently helping out the other players to get heal, and therefore that ended up being a trouble, and that's the reason we can see that recovery being less than 60,000.
It was all in all, I would say, a brilliant comeback match from the side of Team True Gravity. From the very start, they were, stacking up with their own Pokemon, specifically the Blaziken as well as the Dodrio, finding those stacks, leveling themselves up, and in the very right moment, they got those KOs as well. Whenever they engaged themselves in those fights, they found the value. But again, if you just look at the stats at this point, till the 4th minute, it was a very close battle, because after the start, after around a 2.5 minutes, we just saw Team Griffin making a comeback. Both of their sides, 1-1 tier 1 goal zones were taken down on the top lane. Then the objectives came into play. But more or less, we can say that Team Griffin, they tried to make a comeback. But in the final 2 minutes, in the final stretch, Team True Gravity were the better team to perform.
Right, as now scores have been evened. These trainers are ready for another 5v5 Necros to make sure that who is going to be calling themselves the upper bracket finalists, right? One step away from there. And if you become a finalist very early on, it puts you on an advantage, and I'm pretty sure everybody wants to be on that advantage and do not want to use their safety net super early. Talking about the playstyle of True Gravity as well as Griffin, I think it has been heavy hitting, especially with Snowy leading charge and Meriam on the other end. And Meriam and Snowy have played on that same squad in Marcos very early on back. Towards the last year, if you want to talk about it, and now that they are against each other, yes, they know a little bit of their playstyles. That was kind of trying to get a gauge of. Snowy is super aggressive. He likes to go right in front of the opponent's face and will always stand for a battle. If he gets help from his teammates, as you saw on the top path, right, he was menacing. He was taking everybody down, irrespective of Vixion, even going back to the flux zone, getting a blue shield. He was still trying to battle it out and find a KO on the Dodrio. Unfortunately, the other players respawned and they were back from the cooldown, and that's the reason Snowy went out. Otherwise, Snowy is like, I'm here for a fight. I'm looking forward to a lot more. On the other end, it looks like Meriam plays a little bit calm and composed, sticks along with his teammates, and once the team is ready, then we see the swooping coming through. But as of now, I think we are ready for the highlights. And you can see Snowy, every time he wanted to take that Dodrio down, some or the other player used to come in front of him, and the Dodrio always survived. I think if there would have been a chance for Snowy to take down the Dodrio, Snowy would have been super happy. And Dodrio on the other end, we know him as the scoring machine of any lobby, and also easier stacks coming through with the Dodrio if you have him on your team. And that's what I think you saw, what usage or what advantage was done from True Gravity. Made use of it to its utmost potential, called it even in the pick phase, right? That bringing in Vixion on the Dodrio, I still remember how menacing he was, and this was again back in India Open 2022, and he makes it happen here again.
Yeah, even in the final stretch, we saw that kind of Snowy being completely restricted one after another, but Blaziken, he was being trapped, but instead of that, whenever that, I would say that Dodrio hopped in and Blaziken finding a lot of value, and the Unites being committed, they were saved by Team True Gravity. They were waiting for, yes, let the scores come up, specifically when they knew that Blaziken and Dodrio, they're going for the scores in the top and bottom lane respectively. They made the scores happen, and instantly there was a call definitely that now you can come to the legendary pit and we can initiate the fight and get the complete team KO down so that we can get a lot of more scores. They already knew that they had a lead, but then the trio came into the play. He came up with those unites, as you mentioned. He got the 2K, but also Hoopa, who was saving his unite for the final moment, he also unleashed it at the very right time, and everything just went all in the favor of Team True Gravity.
Yeah, one decision from Griffin was that they wanted to catch the players, put and dump their unites down, which kind of worked. I felt like one of the unites that mainly worked was a slow beam coming in from Slowbro, but the other unites which were tried to being dumped were dodged from the other players. Yes, they still were able to find the knockouts, but it was not enough, and especially the Zorark unites kind of failed a lot of times, right? We saw once at the bottom path, even towards the final stretch battle, where along with the slow beam that unite was done, I think it was a little bit too early. Rather than jumping towards the other players, intended to find that KO on Melon on Umbreon, and they did eventually, but the other player somehow managed to survive. So early dumping of Unites was also a problem coming in for the side of Griffin. I hope they're going to be correcting it, because they were the ones who got that first victory. We spoke about Griffin. They were the ones also to push SHUL down, and I'm pretty sure Griffin are looking forward to winning and moving towards the upper bracket finals. And especially if they do make their way there, they will confirm their slot for the LAN, and they will be playing it on LAN, and who doesn't want to, right? So right now, that's where I feel like the teams are going to be striking themselves to get a ticket to LAN, where they can fight and play in front of the audience, their fan favorites. If they can make it there, they'll be more than happy. If they cannot, the journey just gets tougher, and hope for no eliminations. But part and parcel of the competition, there will be eliminations, and as you saw today's games, we will kind of move into them very soon. As soon as this best of 3 concludes, is going to be 2 more lower bracket games, Necros, and therefore 2 more eliminations in India Open.
I mean, it's not that easy to, say bye-bye to the teams, because every team who have made it to this far from the registration phase, from probably the round 1 to this, we see a lot of teams like Clown5, Learn from Past and all coming into the play. There was only 2 invited teams, that was SATUL and FS Esports in the entire India Open 2023. All the teams that you are seeing right now, except FS Esports at this moment, all the other teams have made it this far from playing from round 1. So it's not that easy for them to, also just say that we got eliminated and our journey ends here. But as you mentioned, that everything has like a part and parcel, and you have to take, or you have to go with the flow, that yes, these teams, they were not able to perform, that's why they're getting eliminated. But also, yesterday we saw two teams getting eliminated, today we will also see two teams getting eliminated as well. But that being said, we will find the best team in India after this tournament ends.
That's what the, I would say, search is for our viewers as well, to see which team right now in this 2023 year stands on top. Because every year I think in Pokemon Unite we have not had that one strong team who takes control of everything, even in during fights, right? If you talk about the regional qualifier during WCS, you saw FSC Sports being the I would say surprise package, and all of us thought they, because of their performance in the playoffs bracket, they are going to be the ones who are going to get the first seat. But look at SATL, they were so super hungry that they made sure that their name as the comeback king still stands strong, and they were able to go for a reverse sweep and make sure that it works. They are also that safety net which we talk about, right? The reset, grand final reset, they had to fight it again and they made sure they won it. So be ready for anything. Even if you talk about India Open last year, it was God's Reign. As you can see, a couple of players of God's Reign are also here in Team Griffins, and as well as True Gravity. Wait, I think from True Gravity's end rather than from Griffin's end. Gravity, there's already Vixion we spoke about. So I'm looking forward to how this kind of functions right as now, because we also see, if you want to talk about the first ever Worlds, and where we saw one team going out from India, which was Revenant, which was led by Burzum, Crowley. We're looking forward to how it kind of goes this year, right? Towards the World, towards the India Open. But before the Worlds itself, there's going to be Asia Champions League. So who those teammates are going to be is something that we are waiting for. We've got a confirmation from our production as well. We'll be jumping into the game very soon. Now with a Mew ban coming through, as well as Zacian that we saw in the second game, Necros, what are your predictions for the bans that are going to be, so that Griffin will try to get their victory that they need?
I mean, banning Zacian will be banned by one team, but if you talk about Griffin, what should they go? If I was in Griffin, what I would go for? I'm thinking. You have asked me a tough question, but let's just go. I'll just keep with probably I'm going with the Inteleon.
Okay. I've still not felt like Inteleon is a Pokemon which does change the game. Yeah, a couple of players did show us what the chances are of, and how you can kind of completely turn the game around. Yesterday you did even mention, when you guys were casting the SATUL game, right? The snipe shots being missed. If snipe shots connect, it's a devastating move.
Yeah.
If it doesn't connect, that's a crit hit that you miss, meaning finding a chance of a KO kind of gets eliminated, and then you have to again wait for a cooldown. Again, cooldown might not be great, because you would have two on your back, making sure that if one misses you can use the second. But you also need to understand that snipe shot is not as quick as Spirit Shackle that you can use. It's not like powering it up, but it's like aiming it, and if you're able to aim it properly, then you find damage. Otherwise, Spirit Shackle, even in case you don't power it up, you can still send it in the straight direction and it would go and hit the opponent. Maybe not with great damage, but it still finds enough damage. But you can see, right, even though these kind of Pokemons are there in the fray, it's all about how the team synergizes with it, and that's the reason in the start, when I saw Vixion picking up the Venusaur, I thought that Venusaur would be more effective coming in from, rather than the Mew on the other end. But it ended up being that the stacking kind of helped out for Ghoul, and therefore he was always able to invade the backlines and make sure that True Gravity were unable to kind of function as they wanted. And Meriam still tried there. Meriam here got better chances of stacking, along with his teammate Vixion, who was there. So they were an altered approach, or you would say a two-pronged approach, coming in from True Gravity, where Griffin were unable to kind of glue their eyes on one of the players, or one approach of what True Gravity were doing. So having that different mindsets of other players doing many different things, I think calls went a little bit haphazard. Something to look forward to, but again, that's what Pokemon is all about. Having so many Pokemons in the fray just makes the chances and the play styles very different. And again, it's all about how another team kind of tries or finds a way to counter your Pokemon choices.
Not only that, but also your tactics, or maybe the strategies that you're coming up with, because we also saw so many last minute secures, or I might say the proper word, it's going to be steal It's not just one case. We just see one team completely melting down the Rayquaza or the Reggie, maybe Reggie or the in the previous match only we just saw the Reggie being melted down by Team Griffin, and instantly the Umbreon pops in and they be like, "Hello, I am here to get the steal out of your hands, and here I come." And instantly he just swoops it away in their favor. So every time we have to be very cautious in that way. But it seems we will be seeing a Hoopa and a Zacian ban.
This is again the same ban that we saw in the first game between these two, making sure there are no early rotations, and with Mew being allowed, Illusion immediately picks it up, and Illusion has been super good with it. Miriam quickly locks on the Leafeon for his teammate, making sure that Ghoul doesn't get it this time. Melon still sticking on with the Umbreon. I'm not too sure if this time he's gonna go in for a foul play or a mean look. Let's wait and watch. On the other end, Mikey, he takes up that Pikachu as we saw previously from Zishal. Those thunders were effective enough to strike bolts or fears, but it feels like Mikey says, it's okay. We can look forward to a different range attacker as of now. We'll just trouble them and kind of sell a fake to them, and he immediately locks on none other than the Blaziken, denying it for Miriam on the other end. And Miriam, I'm not too sure what he's going to be playing, whether he sticks on to that Leafeon. Zishal in the meantime gets the Inteleon, and Vulcan gets back to the first game. Blissey, Cliffable goes back to Mikey as the first game, and I'm looking forward to what Ghoul picks. Is it truly an Aegis Slash whether we are going to be seeing a double all-rounder? And this is why I love Pokemon Unite. The metas are completely unpredictable. This 2023 era, it feels like a meta of comfort meta rather than a competitive meta.
They're just going with what they are comfortable with, and that's why you just see it. At this point, we also see Vixion coming with the Chandelier back into the composition, and I really wish that it does work out, because the time we just saw that overheat also coming into the play. Overheat does give you a lot of damage. The after heat damage, I would say, when it burns you up. So you have to be very cautious as the opponent. But Edgy Slash versus a kind of Chandelier or something like that would be very crazy.
Final preparation phase. Quickly talk about stacks here. It's only Miriam along with Melon carrying stacks. There's also the energy amplifier on Miriam. It looks interesting. I want to see how his Leafeon works, like how we did see on the other end running in Ghoul. In other counters, if you want to talk about stacks, there's nothing coming in for the side of Griffin. They've said we do not need any stacks. We'll contest and fight based on our attacks, and making sure they also have that weakness policy gives them another benefit of an advantage. They'll take as much blows as possible, and their one final blow is going to be so effective that they're going to drain a lot of health of their opponents. It's time as these players are loading in for the last battle in this best of 3, whether it's going to be winner bracket finals coming through from True Gravity or Team Griffin. The battle starts now.
A lot of questions will be there in the minds of the audience, that those who are watching us live, because for them they also like seem to be like, this Pokemon might not be meta, so why is it being used? But again, that kind of comfortable picks might actually make the play for both the teams. But now the question arises, they will be going for the usual jungling, as we see the Blaziken going into the mid path, and the Chandelier being allowed from the side of Team Griffin to go in the mid path and level himself up as fast as possible. I'm really excited to see in the top lane contest, where we will be seeing a Mew as well as Mew coming up from the side of maybe a Edgy Slash in their end from the top lane, but from the side of Griffin there will be a Blissey as well as Umbreon.
As you can see, mid path, because there's no stacking coming through, Blaziken is going in for a level up, going into Combuskin. Vulcan in the meantime, snatching away the Citrus Berry, will be able to survive. Melon also not stacking, he's just looking forward to white Pokemon as of now, hasn't gotten anything. He's helping his Sobble evolve into Rizili, and then looking forward to the Inteleon. Miriam, he's also out on the top path. Solar Boink secures the bunny for him. Zishal in the meantime making sure that Melon doesn't get KO'd, tried to invade and intervene the fight, but it's still the eyes set on Melon to try and take him down. As of now, confuses the bunny, doesn't start moving ahead, but the last final hit to secure more Eos energy also helps Melon evolve. Fight starts, Duo Blade is here, and Duo Blade takes away most of the Eos energy. And now it looks to be a center fight coming through for the Alterian Swablu very soon. In the meantime, a stack happens, because of which Vulcan is able to evolve and will be finally from Chansey to a Blissey.
trying to go for those early scores. Team Griffin from the very start, they are just taking up the lead while they have the opportunity. While Team True Gravity, they try to push on the top lane, but it seems that Nova hops in, try to stop Melon from getting some more scores, but they're not allowing Team True Gravity to have any of those wild Pokemons. But Nova has also got a support from Ghoul as he comes into the play. The bunnies will be in the contention in the top lane as well, but Illusion, they're just trying to defend the tier 1 gold zone at this point. But a big point coming up, dodges the solar beam as well, but at this point just being forced to back off from that position.
Only one stack, that is on Melon, and you can see continuously, constantly, that he's been going in for the stack. I'm pretty sure he's done a 6 stack on the AOS Kiki, so nothing much to be worried for him from here on. Or if he's not done, I think I'm pretty sure at least 4 Melon has done. Nova in the meantime making sure he checks the tall grasses, doesn't get faltered to one of those cheeky plays. Tried to go for a snatch doesn't happen. It's going to be Z-Shawl securing the NDD for himself. It's time in the next 20 seconds we're going to be seeing the Reggie, but before that a quick battle for the Salterian Swablu. A nice foul play hit coming through from Melon, but unable to push the players. Then there's going to be the guard coming through, because of which Melon cannot continue his attacks. Slowbro as well as Aegislash both return back to the bottom path, tier 1.
2 more seconds for the Regis to spawn, and instantly you can see that early contention coming up from the side of Team True Gravity. They're desperate for this Regiliki, while this big solar boing might just cause a lot of trouble, but no, it doesn't. But Leon,
steal!
He gets the steal. He definitely manages to get the steal, but instantly being KO'd by Blaziken. They will find the scores itself, but the Regiliki will be pushed towards the tier 1 gold zone, while it seems that the business is still not done. Blissey was there, but the scores will not be denied. The scores will be coming up from the side of True Gravity as Leafeon, he comes back into the battlefield.
106 to 82. Still a 20-point difference. Nothing much for Griffin to be worried about. We'll quickly talk about Unites as well. There are 2 Unites on the ready for the go for True Gravity. Same goes for Griffin. It seems to be very soon a team fight that is going to happen from either end. Nova checking tall grasses, and right behind him both Cliffable as well as Aegislash moving in for the bottom path. Melon. Only one person standing on the bottom path. As they clear tall grasses, he quickly checks it up. He also gets to level 8, and his Unite also strikes. Miriam in the meantime was going in for a 30 score, but immediately the Blaziken was out, and therefore he couldn't do much. He still has the Emerald 2-step. Can he make use of it? His Solar Boing misses, and the other players are also started moving in, and now he's forced to back off.
Majority of the players of Team True Gravity, they are focusing on the top lane, as they've already destroyed one of the towers, the tier 1 gold zone, but instantly the Blissey being completely on the target was there. Unite commitment coming up from his end, but instantly the Unite coming up from Umbreon will do a lot of damage. The Chandelier finds Blaziken, that's for sure, and he gets a 2k for himself at that position as well, but the Solar Beam will be forcing the players of Team Griffin to make a fallback, but that will give an opportunity for Miriam to go with the 30 score on the top gold zone, the tier 1 gold zone for the side of Team True Gravity. But still, a lot of time left for the Regiliki to spawn up. Chandelier will be also utilizing on the top, but instantly, as it seems, the Team True Gravity, they want to break through the tier 1 gold zone in the bottom lane.
Miriam and Rixion, I thought they'll stick into the fight and try to take down the Aegislash, but they did a little bit wrong, that thinking that maybe there can be reinforcements, but they've all moved to the bottom path because of the Reggie. This time True Gravity want to strike on the Reggie at the bottom. It's going to be a steal, which will help them boost their attack. Melon is ready with his Snarl. His jump timing is going to be super crucial. He uses his Snarl a little bit too early, therefore last hit secure is not going to be there from him. Blissey tried with the egg bomb, that also doesn't work, and making sure True Gravity get the attack advantage. They're moving in for a bottom path team fight. Spy Vision has been activated. Z-Shawl with all crit hits coming through wants to define the KO, but a slow beam coming through on Melon does not work. They still end up taking down the Slowbro. In the meantime, Aegislash alone takes the Regiliki on top, but Griffin strongly stand on the bottom path and control things in their favor.
Both of the objectives being compromised for Team Griffin can be a little bit troubling, but instantly they're just there trying to stop their Regiliki from hitting and making the gold zone vulnerable at this point. But that being said, the Aegislash also does find a lot of kills, because the tier 1 gold zone looks really congested at this point in the bottom lane. They want to try and they just want to break it, and a lot of scores coming in. Chandelier with his overheat trying to get a lot of damage done, but instantly will be completely shut it down by Mew at this point. A double KO streak coming up from Illusion, and instantly Intellion trying to find a lot of value, but the bottom lane control is completely under the hands of Team True Gravity at this point.
Oh, Miriam might have been stuck. Thankfully, there was no stunning moves. He immediately makes a jump with the Leaf Blade and he survives, get back to his mid path. In the meantime, it is True Gravity who have taken a lead. They were gearing up for a bottom path 40 over Dung, which did not happen because the counters from Griffin came through. This time again, they are still reinforcing themselves for the bottom path push. As you can see, 3 players who are ready on the go. It's all about timing when they make the move, but Miriam, he's stuck all alone before he got reinforcement. The KO comes through, the Pokemon is sent back to base, and True Gravity, with discipline, they decide to retreat rather than continuing the fight. In the meantime, Vulcan wants to keep that score ongoing, tried to go for an overdunk, but it's going to be only off for 28. In the meantime, a 23 score comes through. With that, the overdunk also being missed from True Gravity, but still True Gravity have the lead for themselves.
Level 13 Blaziken is creating a lot of problem alongside the Edgy Slash being on level 12. The level difference is still a little bit of playing that one of the little bit of factors for the side of Team True Gravity, but again the Regis has been spawned, and it seems that Team True Gravity, they're waiting for the right moment to strike in, while Griffin, they will be going all out to get this objective in their favor, because this might just give them a little bit of advantage in the final stretch fight with Umbreon. He's there, he has to make the difference, but no, it doesn't happen. Mew, he comes up with the steal and gets the Regis in their favor as Team True Gravity. Now this can create a lot of problems for the side of Team Griffin.
Nice play coming through here from Vixion, especially to save his teammate with that Imprison. But I think he even used his Unite over there, which kind of was just activated, not used. And right as now you can see Unite's not there going to be for Griffin, and immediately Gravity tried to take advantage of this. Spy Vision is active, but comes in with the Aegis Slash with the Unite, but it fails and his teammates are not there for backup. 3 people gang up on him, find the first KO on True Gravity, and True Gravity immediately decide to peel off from the fight. Overheat ready, Surf coming through, Overheat and Surf. Does it find the actual double damage? Yes it does, and Melon with a last boosted attack coming in from the Mew gets that KO, and that's going to be a counter of a trade-off KO coming through. Both the players from one each have been KO'd. Snowy, that's a bold move. He wanted to score for a 90 and ends up giving away his life, made a big mistake, and that's a KO I'm pretty sure True Gravity will not be happy of.
Oh, Medium, he is being ganged up at this point. 2 to 3 players, they are stacking on him and instantly finds the KO that they were looking forward to. There is still a bit of difference in the scores, and if Team Griffin wants to make a difference, they need to go up with at least a sneaky score approach. And we see Umbreon, he's going for this. He's trying to, build this opportunity up for himself, but the top tier 2 goal zone has been completely opened up, and it seems that Team True Gravity, they're going forward, but they might be getting stopped at this point because Stanley was there, but Umbreon still continues with the scores as Team True Gravity. They will be very much desperate to get this Rayquaza.
Super crucial fight here. Gravity have started things off because of the 2 KO they've gotten on Griffin, but Griffin's players are ready. Miriam is looking forward to a steal. Moonlight Trance was used from Melon again, but can they find the last hit? Chandelier goes down. They've already made sure that Miriam does not come close. The last hit is ready. He goes in with a Solar Boing and Miriam steals it. And now True Gravity are left wondering how did that just happen, but they still have to find a way to counter score. 100 gets done. Illusion trying to break that shield, but in the meantime 2 players from True Gravity also run up to the top path, going in for a score. It looks like Snowy might just be able to do it, but another jump pad usage coming through and denying that, then coming in with a 2-step, and True Gravity unfortunately will go down, and Griffin will secure the victory in this battle for the upper bracket final slot. And what a comeback from Griffin. They were almost looking like they'd lost all control of things because True Gravity had started the Rayquaza fight, but one mistake that they let Miriam run around rather than stopping him in his track. They stopped everybody else, and Miriam, what a play at the end with the Solar Boink, especially to find the steal.
I can just say that Medium at the very final stretch of just before it, he just went berserk, finding those crucial kills. I would say that goal, he went for a score, got completely taken out in a very bad time. Also for Snowy, he went for those sneaky score approach once again as what he did in the second match. But this time, he was completely ganged up and there was nothing that they could do. But eventually, when everybody was focused on the legendary pit, I have to give credits to Melon for instantly putting a lot of pressure over True Gravity with those big sneaky scores, about like a 50 to 60 score that he did for his side. But eventually the final boinks coming up from the side of Miriam did wonders for his team to manage themselves move upwards in the upper bracket finals, and they will be also booking their slot for the LAN finals itself.
Yeah, I think it was a crucial position for Griffin. They fought with big teams. They have shown their caliber, made sure they always kind of put up a fight and win it towards the end. Even if they lose a game in between, they make sure the series ends in their favor. They made it happen here again. Vixion 83,000 damage, Miriam at 80,000 damage, Zishol as well 72,000 damage. And this time, the Inteleon was still a little bit of a pacifier rather than the KO dealer, but that pacifier was kind of balanced with Miriam and Vixion swooping in. And I think at terms, it also ended up being that the whole team moved through to kind of save each other's back rather than letting go of their player to go down as a knock. But I think it was also a lot of mistakes from True Gravity's end towards the bottom path where Ghoul alone pushed. There was no backup for him, and then we ended up seeing Miriam also a little bit of an overextension. So a lot of iffy moves and wrong moves, kind of mistakes being done from True Gravity as well as Griffin. But towards the end, I think Griffin played a little bit super smart. We spoke about True Gravity's end of things. They had no Pokemon which had stacks, therefore you can see none of them concentrated on scoring a lot rather than leveling up, which they did. 3 of their players were already at level 13 compared to Griffin's players who were still at 12.
That level difference also made a kind of impact in the game as well, but still over and over we can just say the upper brackets, it's turning very much interesting. We can see the kind of competition and the cutthroat battle between both the teams in this match. True Gravity, they literally played like they are definitely hungry for the win, but also pushing Team Griffin to a very big extent, and they were completely forced at the right moment. Or I would say, if the Solar Boings, the Solar Blade did not pop up in the right moment from the side of the Leafeon, things could have turned out to be in a different scenario. The results would have been altered.
You saw, right? There was Chandelier, there was also a Blissey along with Miriam playing on this Leafeon. Blissey was taken down. Chandelier was taken down. It was only Miriam who was running around, making use of that speedster speed, like dodging all the moves, right? He was literally acting like there was a cat and mouse chase coming through, and he ended up winning it. And we've seen that, right? Tom and Jerry and stuff coming through. That's how it was, like a reversal being pulled out towards the end, and they were not ready for it. I'm pretty sure True Gravity, after doing so much, right, in terms of controlling the fight, having all the advantage, putting up a big fight, finding a lot of chaos, having control on the map, pushing back the players of Griffin, and Griffin pull sleight hand of card, right? And like a magician, pull a rabbit out of their hat and they win the game. Still, there was a counter tried. You saw there was a 2-man push on top coming in from Gravity, as well as a bottom 1-man push coming through. But there were already players who was ready, who were jumping from the jump pad or already guarding that goal zone. We saw especially almost that, I think 72 of a goal was about to be scored from Blaziken, and you saw immediately with another teammate swooping in. Even though Blissey was trying to put a stop to it, another teammate came through, and therefore that intention of scoring was also denied. Right, as now True Gravity are not out of the competition. Griffin, however, secure themselves a fight in the LAN as they qualify for the winner bracket finals. Fight here in Pokemon Unite India Open 2023 still continues right after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023 action. We just saw a team securing themselves a chance to fight on land. That's going to be none other than Team Griffin. Congratulations, but this congratulation doesn't mean that you're already in the grand finals. You're one step still away from reaching the grand finals, where you have an advantage. But right as of now, we'll talk about the next game also coming in. But with the next game, I have Raider joining me. So Raider, tell me that one team have moved to LAN and the other team has moved to the lower bracket. So the journey has gotten even more tougher, as we saw yesterday's game in the lower bracket, right? That looks to be some one hell of a crazy game that we are ready in terms of line.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, in the lower bracket, there is a certain type of fight where both the teams are trying to give their best because they do know that if they lose from that bracket, they're out of the competition. That's exactly what happened to teams like SATL Esports and SG Esports. So yes, every single team which is there in the lower bracket, they have to pull up their strategies and eventually give their best. The Masters have to be ready because again, if they lose, there's nothing really to pull up from here.
It's going to be a tough journey for every team in the lower bracket. We saw competition that was cutthroat, competition that was kind of unstoppable, kind of got decided in the early 2 minutes of the game. So there are so many teams who are hungry, and I think that's what we kind of spoke about. If you're hungry enough to find those victories, your hunger drives your passion, and the passion eventually yields in results. And I think right as now, that's what teams are working towards. We ended up with a great game coming in between True Gravity as well as Griffin. Griffin were a little bit dicey, but if not for Merriam saving their game, it could have been different. Now, True Gravity, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be happy. True Gravity, yes, was super close. We'll talk about where True Gravity have gone in the brackets right in front of our screens. True Gravity will be moving towards the lower bracket round 3, whereas Team Griffin will be moving towards a winner bracket round 4, which is the upper bracket finals. And in the meantime, we still have 2 more games before True Gravity find their team, right, in the lower bracket round 3. It'll be updated very soon. Revenant versus Learn from Past, as you already saw in the B Right B. What do you think here, Raider, we have up on grabs? Revenant, in their first game, we didn't see much coming in from them when they fought against the like of True Gravity. True Gravity seemed seamless. But now, True Gravity also being taken down. Revenant are also taken down.
I mean, if you really ask me, like Revenant in the first match against Team True Gravity was kind of close. Like they had a scoreline of 310 points in their favor, and True Gravity was somewhere at 488. So it was a close competition. But if you talk about the second one, at that point, yes, True Gravity was able to kindly step up on that notch, and eventually they were performing the way they really wanted to, and there was a buffer of, if I'm not wrong, 900 plus goals. So that was something amazing to watch. So yeah, definitely, if you ask me, between Learn from Past and Revenant Esports, I do believe both the teams have to be ready with their own strategies, whatever they're going to play along with. I mean, if you talk about Learn from Past, yes, they were kind of fruitful in the initial matches, but eventually there's small mistakes of not getting those Rayquaza, not getting those Regieleki, not focusing themselves on the objectives was kind of like, let's say, very risky for them, and that's one of those reasons why this team is currently sitting in the low bracket. So I do believe both of these teams have done their own type of mistakes, and they have to figure out what they have done and how they can improve on it. For Revenant, I do believe that team synergy has to work out. On hindsight, if you talk about Learn from Past, surprisingly, that team synergy is still there in their favor, but the thing that they were unable to conquer was their play for the utilities, play for the right objectives. So they were able to go for the tier 1, tier 2 goal zones, but eventually they were unable to go for the objectives, which would have actually let go a lot of pressure onto the players of the opponent, and that's why they are sitting comfortably. Not comfortably, to be honest. For now, he is sitting with a second chance in the lower bracket. So yes, that chance has to be availed from Learn from Past perspective. So LFP versus Revenant, this will be a very interesting fight, to be honest, because this will tell us who will be the opponent of Team Griffin, if I'm not wrong.
Gravity.
And along with that, yes, Team Gravity, yes, True Gravity to be precise. That is a team which is now comfortably waiting on their own spot in the lower bracket round number 3 to see who is their opponent. So I'm also waiting how that competition unveils. But even before that, Revenant versus LFP is what we are waiting for.
Yeah, Revenant, as you already spoke about them, not a great game that they had. Even Learn from Past, not a great game, right? When they were in their upper bracket, yes, they were pushed down, but when they fought against SATL yesterday, we saw they were able to force SATL and also kind of make sure that SATL meet their kind of miss their beat, right, of how they were playing. And eventually, because SATL were unable to find their ground and made sure that the stacking especially was missed from SATL, Learn from Past capitalized and won the game against SATL and kicked them out. And right now, it is such an instance that Learn from Past might be a little bit more confident compared to Revenant, because Learn from Past in their lower bracket round 1 have won their first game, taking down a big team, and right now we'll look forward to taking down another team. And here as well, just like we had All Might in the previous fight, here is going to be Crowley playing as Burzum right now, with such immense experience, right? It is going to be tough to take down him and his team, but again, it's a lineup which is different from him usually that he used to play. And Revenant always, as we've known, or I would say it's something that it carry forwards as a curse, that their final fights are kind of very dicey. So right as now, upper hand for learn from past. Yesterday we spoke about Clown5 having the upper hand. So it's time for Revenant that they have to be geared up for what's upcoming. I'm not too sure what new is being prepared. We are going to be seeing the draft phase very soon here, Raider. Draft phase as well in the recent times has been just standard Zacian bans coming through, but on the other end it was also inclined towards the ranged attackers and a little bit of support here and there in case they have or they know a player who's super good on a support, such as maybe a Hoopa, or if there is any other supports. I think there was an instance where Cliffable, or I think that Cliffable was a little bit back in WCS rather than right now. So I think there's been a lot of changes, and that's the reason we are still not going to be sticking on to one kind of a meta which kind of functions. We even ended up seeing a double speedster setup, right? The double speedster setup kind of looked like it was about to work, but eventually failed. Right now it's time for the draft phase coming through. Ban in the next 12 seconds coming through. Zacian already going to be there, and we spoke about support. I missed defender, so they remind me that there are defenders also that we can ban, and it's going to be a slow bro ban coming in.
I mean, even before this, I do remember that we did saw an Umbreon banner as well coming in as a defender.
once.
So it's pretty interesting approach coming in. So yeah, Slowbro and a Zacian ban will be there. So looking forward to see how the play is going to unfold. From LFP, it is going to be a Zacian ban coming in, and from Team Revenant, we will get to see a Slowbro ban coming in. Burzum, that's Crowley who is going to pick the first, but it's Goku who is going to go for the supporter Hoopa, which can completely shift the momentum by those hyperspace holes and the rings unborn in the later stages when the Unite is unlocked. But for now, if we talk about Elim, and Umbreon will be coming in probably, and Prod might actually stick to a supporter. Oh, he's gonna go for a ranged attacker. It's gonna be Calmon choosing the Mew, a squishy one, but then again, the damage of those solar beams, we all know how tricky it can be.
Yeah, in these recent times, Mew has been that Beamosaur that people used to generally see. This little teeny tiny sweetie Pokemon is no more sweet. Even in lobbies such as rank, does 1 lakh plus damage in general play. Therefore, in competitive players, teams know to play, players know to play it, and they do a lot more. Burzum to counter it again brings in an Inteleon. It did not work out yesterday. Tensai on the other end brings in a Snorlax. We saw one game from Snorlax, I think in the upper bracket. It also did not work. It seemed like it kind of did, especially there was also a Yawn move coming through. I'm not too sure what moveset is going to be played, but Vanquisher, we all remember this lineup, especially with the trustworthy hands of Prod, an ex-True Rippers player. I think this time he's made a really tough squad, which is tough to deal with, especially with Vanquisher. If people don't remember him on the Machamp, right now you are going to be remembering him on his Buzzwall.
I mean, if you talk about yesterday and day before yesterday, like the matches where we did saw Buzzwole coming in, we did saw a stack of Buzzwole and a Cliffable, if I'm not wrong. Today we have to see a Blissey, how it is going to work out. That's something which is going to be absolutely amazing for me to watch. On the other corner, we do have a Lapras as the second defender for the team of Revenant, and along with that we have a Zorak as the speedster. But is it going to be a speedster? No, it's going to be an attacker coming in from the players of the team known as LFE, and Kamil has actually gone for a Glaceon. This will be very interesting to watch how these attackers are going to perform, along with Buzzwole being stacked up with the Blissey and then Umbreon being the tank of that particular team. On the hindsight, in the final preps, you will get to see the battle items and hell items coming in from the individuals.
Yeah, quickly talking about the items, there is going to be 2 stacks that I can see, an attack weight on Buzzwole and then an Aeos key coming in from Altium. On the other end, seems to be that there is only 1 stack coming in from Apple, and we all remember Apple is also another crazy player to be watched out, and him playing Zora, just like we saw Snowy on the other end, can cause a lot of trouble in the lobby. And he also has a weakness policy, especially if that combo attack of the feint attack, I'm not too sure if he's going to play feint or shadow. Let's see what he plays when we go towards it, and I think it should be feint, because the other move is easily countered, right? If you miss it and the entire move fails, and that combo completely gets reset, which is not something that players would want to. So right now it's done. Players have picked. We are going to be jumping into the game very soon. It's the last preparation that they'll be discussing of what to counter, because this is when they see what the opponents have finally chosen, what Pokemon that they'll be playing on, and how they can counter each other. Right as now, I feel like trouble is going to be from Mew as well as Glaceon. As you can see, Glaceon still strikes fear in the lobby, the icy wind coming through in the recent times, and then as always the beams from Mew on that kind of gives you a chance of secures. Time to start the battle. Let's go and kick things off. This is going to be between Revenant as well as Learn From Past to decide who continues their journey here in India Open.
A pretty impressive battle once again. If you talk about the top lane, it's going to be the Hoopa and Lapras coming in to go for the contest. In the mid lanes, we'll get to see the Speedster trying to evolve ASAP so that it can be the beast, it can be the sealer of the whole show. At the same point, yes, as we do see a lot of evolution being done over there, and eventually in the mid lane, from the perspective of Learn From Past, we do see EVs, and that's a Glaceon along with that Blissey going for the Lapras, but Lapras is going to go for the score, and there is no such stack coming in for now between Buzzwole and Blissey, but pretty much soon I do believe that is going to be the case, and there you go. Lapras also comes in and he's trying to damage out the player, but let's see how fruitful that Blissey can be at this point. And Vanquisher already down to a very low amount of HP, but he's gonna go for his tier 1 gold zone, and eventually, even before that, even before he makes his way, we do see the first KO coming in from the players of Team Revenant, and it is gonna be LFP's Buzzwole.
First KO. That's going to be a little bit of a trouble. Nonetheless, they still make their way back. Goal Riders not inclining in one team's favor. Kamal has already gone to a level 5 Glaceon. I see Win on the ready, on the go. Let's see who he connects with. But Lapras on the top path is going to cause a lot of trouble. Kid leading charge, and then moving in is going to be a Zorar. Gets prod. That chance, he does not even get a chance to evolve to a Blissey and immediately gets KO'd. And right now, Learn From Past are the ones who are being dealt with chaos from the start.
To be honest, I really want to see how Burzum is going to perform today, because eventually if we talk about the past matches, yes, his Inteleon was not that effective, but today is the day where he really has to bounce back. Otherwise, there is no looking back in the whole competition, as Institute Esports, as SZ has received a fate where they are currently out of the competition. That is again something which Revenant might actually face, but at the same point, if we talk about Vanquisher, he's going to go for a score of 8. Lapras is completely dishing out the damage that he really want to go with, but on the hindsight, Speedster, Hoopa, and along with that, Inteleon is pretty much focused on the mid lanes. They're kind of, I guess, contesting, if I'm not wrong, the Alternate Drop Boost so that they can evolve as fast as possible. There you go. That's the case. They're trying to level up, because again, if you have that level buff, things might change. But ironically, that was not the case in the first match of today.
Still a game of battles back and forth. None of the teams have taken advantage of it, but seems like at the bottom path, Revenant had a good chance of a push. 21 score coming in from Snorlax. Hiding in the tall grasses, a read is there from Revenant. Hyperspace hole being used for quick rotations. They start moving in bottom, and a quick jump to the top. They will hold out Goku. Mean Look was there, but it was not enough. Burzum is still going to be assisting. The snipe shot comes through, but immediately Buzzwole catches him, trying to run away. Ejects. Now uses the hyperspace hole for a full heal, and Vanquisher will be forced to back off. But Kid is chasing him with the water pulse, finds the KO, and then the Blissey also goes down. So Revenant again back on track, not just on lead, but in terms of finding KO and pushing the top path as they've taken control of it. AM right now stuck a little bit with the icy wind coming through, and immediately also gets KO'd with the help of Hoopa. Hyperspace hole being used, and now they'll all push to score on the top. A big 30 was being tried, but an egg bomb coming in, and Burzum will be put to a stop. But his snipe shot on the ready for a go. Does he connect? I'm not too sure. It went a little bit longer. In the meantime, playing on a Fell Stinger and a snipe shot, he'll be looking forward to a lot more. But right now, it is time for the Reggies. And again, Revenant, like we saw yesterday, are contesting for the top Reggie Aliki to start things off.
I mean, whenever we're talking about an Inteleon coming in, those snipe shots can be very effective, but only if the connection is quite right. Look at this. He's gonna get squished with a solar beam coming in from the individual Mew, and along with that, Glaceon also finds a Speedster out of the equation. The Buzzwole is also dishing out a lot of damage, and a complete stack onto the top lane is gonna be the case. Now they're trying to melt down the 6 Pokemon for themselves, and that's gonna be the Regieleki. But the Snorlax will be coming in, as the name suggests. He's unstoppable right now, and definitely is going to perform. Tensa is the guy who is actually playing the Snorlax. Buzzwole gets KO'd by the Inteleon, and Hoopa now is shifting the momentum. Unite's being dumped over here, and the steal will be there. It is going to be Mew who gets the Regieleki in the favor, but now the tier 1 gold zone on the top lane is definitely going to get destroyed. There is nothing when it comes to the looking back scenario over there, and a complete stack from Team Revenant Esports will be there. Another set of 26 goals will be dumped. The Inteleon manages to secure it. Even the Zorak was able to get many more scores, and now once again farming the wild Pokemons is going to be the case. The Solar Beam will be coming in pretty soon by Mew, and in the bottom lane we do see a lot of attention being given to the Regiais so that they can steal this objective.
It's going to be the first objective that teams are taking towards the 5-minute mark. Is there a Lapras Express which comes? It seems like no, they're going to save that Unite and let this Regice be taken forward, because this Regice status now only gives you a HP boost. There was a little bit of a contention as you saw from the Zoroark, nothing much of a trouble as he does not give away the KO, is sitting at level 12, one of the highest levels in terms of Pokemon that he has. Tried to find a KO, uses the Unite, takes the Blissey down, but the superpower comes through. Apple immediately runs away, Hyperspace Hole along with the Rings Unbound being activated, and they will try to find Strike KOs, and they get a 2 KO streak, help of Buzzum coming through, and now an overdunk of 32 to destroy tier 1 off the bottom as well, and Revenant pushed to 257.
Well, Revenant looks absolutely amazing. They're getting the chaos, they're getting the destruction, but is it going to help them in the later stages in the final stretch? That's a big question, because eventually yesterday also we did saw a situation where the opponent was able to completely destroy the first and second tier 1, tier 2 gold zones in the top lane and also in the bottom lane, and then eventually it was very costly for them in the final stretch. But look at this, the Unites are still being dumped. We do see a lot of snipe shots being delivered, and still the misses are coming in. Mew finds the Zoroark. The Speedster is going to get KO'd. Pretty soon there is a possibility of a Lapras. Oh, sorry, my bad. The Snorlax also getting KO'd, but no, he backs out from the scene. And we do see again the Ulterior Swablu in the bottom lane getting contested so that they can level up. And look at this, Inteleon trying to maintain his own safe distance, but also going to go with the Felstinger and the Snapshot combination. It definitely can be very effective, as we did saw a lot of KOs coming in on Mew and also players like Blissey, Pokemon like Blissey. We did saw initially that type of KO coming in. But look at this, Hoopa now trying to wait and get the gist of the equation, because again he has to be ready with the right kind of support, with the right kind of attack as well. I mean, he's a supporter, he definitely has to have a very beautiful stack upon with an attacker, then only the effective nature of that particular Pokemon can be coming in. But look at this, again the players are getting cornered. It's going to be Lapras and the Snorlax, both the defenders, both the tankers were cornered, but Mew finds the Speedster once again. A lot of chaos on Zoroark, to be honest.
But immediate switcheroo, Tensai takes control of the front line, and now the Lapras Express being activated. Does it find anybody as target? Tensai uses Hyperspace Hole, teleports, but Vanquisher in the meantime going in for a score. He needs to get a lot more stacks. I think this is just his second stack coming through, but Revenant have so much control of the map. As you can see, they're easily taking this Regieleki on top, and no contention coming in from Learn from Past, even though they can see it. Finally, Buzzwole leading charge along with their Umbreon is making a move on the top part, but before they could get closer, Regieleki gets secured. Hoopa will play on the bottom, as the bottom Regieleki is also spawned, and Hyperspace Hole being used for quick rotations, and Revenant quickly make their way to the bottom as well to take the Regirock, and right now they'll get a boost in their defenses and no contention as well. Blissey is there, would have wanted to try for an Egg Bomb, but knows if he goes for an Egg Bomb will end up giving a lot more experience. Quickly talking about again levels, it's a level 13 Zoroark compared to all the players have learned from past who are still sitting at level 12 and 10 respectively. Finally level 13 on the Glaceon.
Well, the attacker is pretty much ready with his own attacker, and Regieleki is now getting contested. See, this is the kind of distraction that Revenant is able to capably put forth for the players of Team LFP in the top lane. Every now and then the Regieleki is being melted down by the players of Team Revenant, and they're keeping the players from Team Learn from Past quite busy so that they do not lose an opportunity to contest in the lower areas like bottom lane and also in the alternate Swablues and all the other objective Pokemons that are coming in. So they are definitely doing a wonderful job, and right now the Snapshot is more than ready. Rayquaza is here. The final stretch will be coming in, and this is where things can go very critical for the players of even Team Revenant, because if LFP is able to steal that Rayquaza in the melt it, that will be interesting. But look at that defender Umbreon running for his life, but Blissey will be definitely coming as blessing in disguise for him. And for now, if you talk about the chaos, it's going to be the Inteleon, who was hiding in the tree grasses, tall grasses, and was getting a lot of damages onto the individuals. But now that is not going to be the case. He's going to wait his sweet time for the next respawn to come. But other than that, Zoroark finds a KO, and we do see Hoopa's Rings Unbound doing a phenomenal job of getting a lot of KOs. And not just that, even the Zoroark is going to be phenomenal. But look at the Vanquisher. He's going to be a sneaky one out of the top lane, tier 1 gold zone.
That was just a 45, only a 90. Learn from Past does not make any dent to the overall score as of now. It's time for a team fight, and Vanquisher is stuck. He has no teammates to help him. A nice block. They smudge him to the wall, and his move Smack or Superpower, nothing works. Ends up giving another KO. Blissey comes, but it's a little bit too late. Egg Bombs right now being pushed, but it's not going to be effective. Solar Beam comes through from the Mew, and then the Mystical Mirage. Does it find any value? They're trying to cause trouble to Tensai. Spy Vision active right now. Looking forward to a last hit coming in from Burzum. He's ready. He sends it out, but the Lapras is going to be the one who secures it with the Water Pulse. Along with that, putting Glaceon down. It's only one surviving. Team tiny cutie Mew, and which will also be taken down. Tried, gets that berry, runs away immediately, but in the meantime the shields are going to be there. Big hundreds which cannot be stopped at all is what Learn from Past are going to experience right now. Even though they're trying to do damage, look at the number of players that are swarming the home base goal zone. None of the moves are hitting. Even if they hit, it's only hitting the shields, therefore they're unable to break even a single shield here on players of Revenant, and they're casually jumping in and scoring hundreds. And Learn from Past are just watching. Finally one shield gets broken, that's going to be Apple's, but the game is done. Therefore it doesn't even matter. Revenant Esports are going to win this battle because Learn from Past cannot battle anymore.
From the start, Revenant decided to be absolutely chaotic, and they were able to get a lot of KOs initially. And if I'm not wrong, the first KO started with the Buzzwole KO coming in onto the top lane, and eventually in the later stages we did saw a lot of goals being dumped. And the Speedster being utilized at its peak right now, as you can see, 244 goals, 6 of the KOs coming in, 5 assists, and 87 is going to be the points that he's going to get for the merit. And yes, a phenomenal job done and dusted from the players of Team Revenant Esports. Now they are leading by a margin of 710 goals in their favor. What a play coming in from the individuals of Revenant Esports. On the other corner, look at that. Kamil Prod, 0 scores. Even Prod on the other corner got 0 KOs. I mean, he's a supporter, so can't really actually say anything to him. But at the same point, look at Goku. Being the supporter, he was able to give 11 assists and also 4 KOs. Impressive play from each and every individual coming in from Revenant.
This game is something that Learn from Past have to now figure out how to correct things. As you can see, Vanquisher barely sitting on 1 knockout. Kael'Mon played well. We expected that coming in from a Mew, but not 33,000 damage. Kamil as well, just sitting at 47,000. I feel like ranged attackers, if they're not closer to 60,000, that has not been an effective game coming through. I think Alim tried his best on this Umbreon. It was not enough, but effective use of Snipe Shot coming in from Burzum was just brilliant. It did what we expected from a Snipe Shot. And then Kid as well, acting both as the tank as well as the attacker. It was just brilliant, and Apple, no questions on him. The Shadow Claw as well as Feint Attack worked out really well. Did not, and nobody right now in these times of the meta goes for a Night Slash. So as of now, it is Revenant who have gotten this first game. Even after an unfortunate upper bracket game they immediately lost to, they are looking forward to making a comeback, especially of how the team played. Looks a little bit stable and stronger.
Still, I have to say, Lucifer, that's a long way to go, to be honest, for even Team Revenant Esports, despite of the fact that they've got that initial advantage in the PO3 scenario, because this was exactly the similar situation where Team Griffin was standing. But at the end, what happened? Things started to change a lot, and eventually Team True Gravity is now being literally pushed down to the ladder, and on the other corner, the other Team True Gravity is still trying to fight back. But I have to see how Revenant was able to perform initially. Like, look at that. From the start, there were multiple KOs coming in. Not just that, they were maintaining that lead, they were maintaining that pressure. And in the minute marker of 4 minutes to 6 minutes, there was not even a single goal coming in from the individuals. And not just that, we do see 10 goals coming in from the Umbreon. That's the tank for the team. Apart from that, where was the supporter? Where was the Glaceon? Where was the Mew? The attackers was trying to get some good KOs, but they were unable to do that, as even the stack of that Blissey and Buzzwole was not even working out, to be honest, because Buzzwole were trying to take up a fight in the top lane. Meanwhile, if you talk about the Blissey, he was pretty much busy contesting on the mid lane. So that was kind of surprising for me.
I think this was a little bit of a tough game here for Learn from Past. They were unable to make their moves as they had thought of initially. Raider, we spoke about the stacks. You even mentioned about it. Both the Buzzwole as well as the Umbreon did get 3 stacks in their attack weight as well as AOS cookie respectively, but it was not enough. They had a lot more that they would have wanted to do, but also, as you mentioned, the ranged attackers looked like they were missing. We barely saw any effective play coming in from Kamil on the Glaceon. Yes, Kael'Mon did play his best with the solar beams on that Mew, but I feel like it was not going to be enough until and unless their front lines were effective. I feel like the front lines were super tough from the sides of Revenant, with the Snorlax as well as the Lapras coming through. Snorlax act literally like a tank. Any attacks that it hit its tummy and just bounced back. Whereas Lapras decided that, okay, if he's tanking the damage and sending it back, I'm going to go ahead and do damage. And the Water Pulse and the Ice Beam did work out really well. Was slowing them down and even freezing them to a couple of seconds, because there was a lot of chaotic stuff that Learn from Past were jumping into as a fight, which yielded in benefit for none other than Revenant because of their moves.
I mean, also, if I'm not wrong, the Lapras Steel was also there for the Rayquaza. That was also phenomenal. Like a defender trying to go for that long range attack coming in, and eventually he was able to completely steal that advantage in their favor, in the team's favor, to be honest. And even if that Rayquaza advantage would have not been in their favor, I do believe Team Revenant was more than capable with their Unites being farmed and their players pretty much ready, so that they could have easily broken down the shields and also got a lot of KOs onto the individuals of Team LFE. So at that point, yes, in the final stretch, situations were not in the favor of Team LFP. They were not able to stack up completely, and eventually they were pretty much scattered to actually go for the goals. And at that point, yes, the players were able to corner them. And if I'm not wrong, the Snorlax was able to corner the complete guy of Buzzwole, and he was
Yeah.
completely taken out. If I'm not wrong, that was Vanquisher in the Legendary Pit.
I felt a little bit bad for Vanquisher. I think there were two team
Yeah.
fights which did not end up becoming a team fight for the sides of Learn from Past. On the other end, Revenant as a
Mhm.
team, whenever it was a team fight, we could see all the players ready to swarm and dump Unites, or even just go ahead and use their movesets and try to kind of balance that fight out. Even they
All thanks
thought
to Hoop,
that
I guess.
yeah, there were a lot of instances, and even in one situation where if there was a team push coming in from the top path, there was always some or the other person who was guarding the bottom path. It never felt like Revenant had kind of kept left guard of their bases, whereas on the other
Yeah.
end, if there was a guard left from the side of Learn from Past, it was not an effective guard because their front lines were super weak. They had that Blissey again, you cannot be super reliable to act as a front line. You would need a solid front line, and the solid front line from the side of Umbreon was only one. And we used to see Umbreon used to put down the mean look, but it still did not find enough value because the other players were not there to do effective damage. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of Solar Beam misses, as well as the Buzzwole Unites also being missed, as we saw. Towards the end, it did connect on the Inteleon. Crucial KO, they did fine. But after that, the team itself got separated. Buzzwole started getting chased from another Unite, and it was from Hoopa, as you mentioned, Rings and Bound coming out towards the end. As soon as they knew that Inteleon is out, bring back everybody together, dump it on them. And as soon as they started dumping, it ended up becoming a team KO, and nothing was there left for Learn from Past. And now it is actually a Learn from Past for them after losing the previous game.
And I mean, there is a huge potential in Team Learn from Past. They can really come back in the game even stronger in the next match and the third match, which will be the decider if the next match is in the favor of Team LFP. But on the same side, if I talk about Team Revenant, well, they've got that momentum. They are definitely trying to step on it and eventually perform the way they really want to. And to be honest, there was an invisible effort coming in from that Hoopa because, as you said, that there was a lot of control for the tier 1, tier 2 goal zones, and both on the top lane and the top bottom lane, there was already a contestment coming in from Team Revenant Esports, all thanks to that Hoopa. Because of those steeping back scenario coming in, the hyperspace holes that were being delivered by Hoopa was absolutely amazing. But this time there will be a ban, and it is going to be for an Inteleon, which was able to dish out a huge amount of damage. Although he missed a lot initially, but in the later stages we did saw a lot of on-point precision shots coming in. So we do have clarity on which are the two Pokemons getting banned. From Revenant, it is going to be the similar one. It's going to be the team Revenant who is going to ban Zacian. On the other corner, we'll get to see a ban of Inteleon coming in. So Gelmon goes in for the similar approach. He's going to go for the Mew. And on the same side, I would like to see a Hoopa coming in. Yeah, there you go. Hoopa for sure will be getting locked.
Yeah, again giving Revenant the chance of getting a Hoopa, I don't think it's a great idea. On the other end, Tensei also swoops in, takes away the Slowbro, keeping the Umbreon alive. I'm not too sure how it's going to work out. Kael'Wan still thinks it can work out, and right now looking at the picks coming in from side of Learn from Past, I think they do not have any more in their meta. Their comfort picks are these, and the next two Pokemons that we would see is going to be Prod back on maybe Blissey and Camille back on maybe a Glaceon or maybe some other ranged attacker. But even after banning an Inteleon, you can see Burzum is ready. He's moved to the Delphox. Delphox is also a menace, and Delphox is even more troublesome because if somebody gets stuck in the fire spin, your move is not allowed. And that is something that I'm worried about. And along with that, they bring back Lapras. The double defender is kept alive. The Ice Beam already caused trouble, and now with the Ice Beam again, there will be the Water Pulse to cause trouble. Prod this time decides, I do not want a Blissey, thinking of a Cliffable. On the other end, Camille, as I spoke about it, will go for a different range attacker, I thought, but towards the end locks onto a Glaceon itself. It's only Prod who made a change. Everybody else remains same from Learn from Past.
Pretty much similar approach, but yes, apart from Blissey, we'll get to see a Clefable coming in this particular matchup. And on the same side, if we talk about Team Revenant, yes, they do have a different side of approach coming in, but eventually, if we talk about their tanks, we have a Slowbro and the Lapras coming in, but the final Pokemon will be Apple, and he is locking the individual known as Dodrio. So those triple tramples is what I'm waiting for. And even if I'm not wrong, in the first match we got to see that Dodrio coming in as well in the action.
Yeah, it was a try-attack Dodrio. This time, is it going to be a try-attack or not? Something to wait and watch. Again, it's going to be an attack weight Dodrio, whereas other players, it's a special attack specs on Kid for another stack coming through, and everything else seems to be same. Goku as well as Tensai, right, is now running Cursed Incense. It's going to be interesting. I want to see their special attack doing a lot more damage to make sure that the HP recovery is not there. HP recovery is going to be super crucial, especially with even Prod being there, playing Moonlight, I presume, and on the other end Vanquisher is a super crucial frontline damage dealer.
Yeah, definitely have to see how that damage dealing scenario is going to work out. I mean, this is a match where things have to really change for the players of LFP. If that is not going to be the case, yes, they're going to get eliminated, disqualified from this whole scenario. And yes, for Team Revenant, there is going to be another fighting chance against the individual teams who is there in the lower bracket, round number 3. But really have to see how Revenant is going to step up on that notch, because Apple, to be honest, in the previous matchup was absolutely amazing. He got some sneaky KOs, he got some beautiful goals also. If I'm not wrong, 284 goals were delivered by this individual. Like in this particular matchup, yes, that again can be the case, and Hoopa definitely is what I'm looking at. And when you talk about the defenders, when you talk about the tankers, yes, those Lapras and Slowbro approaches can definitely be very beneficial. But in the purple corner, we'll get to see Learn from Pass, and the orange one, we'll get to see the Team Revenant Esports. And again, Dodrio is going to go for the mid lanes so that he can farm the jungle, he can evolve as fast as possible. The Duo is right now, it's pretty much available. Vanquisher on the Cliffable stack is going to work out this time in the top lane. I do believe this can be a little bit more effective when you talk about the comparative stack of Buzzwole and Lissy, to be honest. But there you go, Lapras is going to go give out some damage, dish out some damage as well, and at the same point, going to go for some good goals.
Yeah, that's a special attack spec stack coming through. Vanquisher also goes for his first stack. In the meantime, without any trouble, it's going to be the Ice Charge help coming through for Kid for get a second attack, second dunk. And Kid seems to be in trouble. He tries to eject, but I think the long rotation is causing a lot of trouble for him. Thankfully, Kamil comes in time, swoops in, and if Kid gets another 5 AOS energy and goes in for a third stack, he'll be more than happy. In the meantime, Burzum, he's already out. He's moved to the bottom path. Still has the Will-O-Wisp. Will take some time as he gets to level 5, then unlock his movesets. But for now, no KOs being kind of given off from even Revenant or Learn from Past. It's only wild Pokemons being denied. Finally, a big experience that teams have to take away is the Altaria and Swablu. Seems like it's Revenant to take it forward, but the Hyperspace Hole, by almost trying to do the last hit of damage, the Hyperspace Hole teleported their players, and therefore they are unable to get any KO, and even the slightest AOS energy that there was there on the Altaria also gets missed for now.
That was something which was not supposed to happen, to be honest, but eventually it did happen. And now if we talk about Team Revenant, look at them. 59 good goals coming in from the corner. They're definitely trying to score more. Delphox is also looking quite good in the bottom lane. Now that contest is going to be there. But look at this. Way too deep in the opponent's territory. That is something I was not expecting. But once again, Hoopa's Hyperspace Holes are working like a charm. I mean, that is something which can really definitely define the whole competition for Team Revenant Esports. And that's why denying that could have been the case for Team Learn from Past. But now it's all done. The Pokemon that they banned was not something we were expecting, to be honest, an Intellion ban. But look at this, a KO will be coming in, had to buy a Cliffable, complete stack was there in the bottom lane, and now reverting back once again. Oh, Umbreon goes in to find the Dilfox out of the equation, but Dodrio gets the Mew, the squishy one is now being KO'd, and not just that, I do believe another KO could be coming in onto the Umbreon pretty soon, but they decide to back out, they decide to let it go so that they can live for another moment so that they can fight back. But now, again, a stack would be there on the top lane. And with that, Lapras, Dodrio, and the Hoopa combination will be working out. Oh, the Buzzwole is not going to survive in any way. And the top lane goal zone is about to get destroyed if this kind of goal zone are going to get destroyed, to be honest. But again, very good XP buff could be there from that corner.
Look at how well Revenant are both working for knockouts as well as working towards finding stacks. Again, a quick hit coming in from Dodrio. There's no way to dodge. Somehow managed to move away. This time the superpower as well as Smackdown connects, and Dodrio immediately shut down. It was a nice KO to find as well as a lot of experience being gained as the levels get even for the Buzzwole at 8 with Dodrio.
Well, the contestment sure does look absolutely amazing. The Regiseal for now at the bottom lane is being consistent. The players are not even letting the other individuals from Revenant Esports to come back into the scene in the bottom lane. And there you go, the contestment goes wild, and with that, the Regiseal will be in the favor of Team Learn from Past. But in the top lane, we do have a different storyline. The 6th ally will be coming in for Team Revenant Esports. It's going to be the Regieliki, which is going to open up the complete perspective. And there is no hoopa coming in from those individuals of LFP. That's why there is no denying and no hyperspace holes that are going to be there. So the tier 1 goal zone on the top lane is pretty much destroyed. And with that, learn from past now is not looking that good. But Delphox, that KO is definitely going to make them a little bit more happy, and now they're trying to stack up completely onto the bottom lane. But the triple trample will be coming in.
No!
What was that, bro?
Hyperspace hole ended up being unfortunate for their own teammates, but still Apple trying to make it work, wants to take down Vanquisher, but the superpower and Smackdown drives them away, and the Cliffable safely helps his teammates retreat back, and Revenant falls flat on a team fight, but Vanquisher gets hit, but his position still revealed. There can be a chance that they run towards him, but Vanquisher, I think this time will be safely going in. The Phantom Force quickly checks, but Vanquisher, wait, does he get found? They're not letting him teleport back to base and get the full heal. Apple in the meantime decides, no, I do not want to indulge in a fight. I need the blue buffs as well as I need to level up, because that Buzzwall is at 10 and I'm still at level 9. Finally evolves to 10. Kid in the meantime is at 11, and he is going to be the highest right now in this server. Try to go for a 30 goal. Fireworks again being used, but no value again. I think right as now the bottom path play coming in from the Delphox as well as the Slowbro has not been working out. Dodrio in the meantime has invaded the mid path, looking forward to the Baltoys as well as the red buffs. Has taken it away, and now he's just trying to run away. In the meantime, sees that there are multiple players here, gets his agility ready and immediately moves out.
That's the best part of Team Revenant Esports. They do know when to fall back, and they do know when to bring in that team effort coming in from the corner. That was being lagged from team known as LFP, but look at this. Once again, the approach looks quite good. Umbreon could have been caught in that particular fire spin, but no, that was not the case. Even Mew goes in for the solar beam. There was no contact in it, but still, they are definitely trying their level best. But look at this. What was that? I mean, you were able to utilize a Unite, but now you have been actually dished out to the base goal zone. But a lot of chaos could be coming in. Hoopa finds one. It's going to be the Buzzwole who's out of the existence. Not just that, Slowbro gets one more. It's going to be the tank coming from LFP. The Umbreon gets KO'd. Not just that, we have a Dodrio KO coming in by the Glaceon. Definitely was able to be fruitful for now.
These fights are so weird. Kid finally trying to get his 6th stack done. I'm not too sure if he's done it or not, but players immediately use the jump pad, move towards Kid. But we quickly hit a pause coming in. A lot of iffy moves coming in from Revenant. Revenant still have the lead overall in the goals here at Raider if we talk about it. But I mean, those flubs of hyperspace hole happening like 2-3 times in the same game, especially after you unite and it happens to you and it sends you back to base. I'm pretty sure for a second over there, wait, how did I get back here is what the player from Revenant thought, and it's like, okay, my mistake, we'll get back into it. Right now, yes, we have hit a pause. This does give us chance to talk about the levels. Right as now, something that Learn from Past have to concentrate on is their ranged attacker is going to be Mew. I think a lot of times Mew has been easily reached out, right? The backline was invaded super easily from Revenant, and that Dodrio has been doing a wonderful job. So they have to level up that Mew and stop that from happening. Right as now, Tensai, just to kind of prick a battle, he goes in, indulges a little bit with the Regirock, and then a nice light shield, but the light shield was from the opponent. If this was from the side of Revenant, they could have found the KO on Cliffable. Cliffable standing in the goal zone, finds a help, gets the KO on the Slowbro. Crucial one. Kid in the meantime has been trapped in the mean look, but they know fighting with the Lapras who's crossed the double digits is super tough, especially also having a muzzle band causes a lot more trouble. Again mean look, but this time finally Mew manages to run away, but the Dodrio doesn't. Dodrio runs away to the Pokemon Center, and this icy wind strikes, finds the second KO streak, and Kamel right now doing a lot of damage which was expected in the first game, even commits the Unite, and this time Kid, I'm pretty sure he's not going to survive. Last mean look coming in, he was hit with mean look 4 times and finally ended up going down. Kamel now with the triple trample and then with the Slowbro surf, finally gets taken down, but Alim is still surviving. Try attack does not connect much, and therefore the players from Learn from Past do retreat, but look at them, they were unable to goal a lot, and finally Buzzwall decides, even though we are in a team fight, we are unable to score, goes on top, and with the fireworks coming through, Revenant will manage to, I think, destroy the tier 1 bottom path goal zone from Learn from Past. They're trying their best, but fireworks gets finished, but still the fight ongoing. Burzum trying to survive, and then the superpower hit from his own teammate ends up becoming a KO. Nice try from Vanquisher. But in the meantime, Apple destroys the entirety of the top path goal zones and leaving players from learn from past fully vulnerable.
Yeah, but now the sacking of scenario is going to work over the top lane because they do know that they have to get that 6th Pokemon, the ally known as Regieleki. They have to melt it down, and that's exactly what they're working on. Umbreon could be the stealer, but no, it's going to be the Lapras who is going to take it away. And with that, Rayquaza is also... Oh, this is going to be critical because now the baseline goal zone is going to be pretty open if the players of Learn from Past is not going to show their concern to the Regieleki. But look at that, Regieleki straight up going for the baseline goal zone. I mean, this is the situation where even when they do not have that advantage for the Rayquaza, they are still pretty much able to completely go ahead and score a lot of goals. And that's exactly what Lapras is going to do. That's exactly what Hoopa is also concerned about. And if I'm not wrong, the Delphox was also able to secure a 75, if I'm not wrong, in the bottom lane tier 1 goal zone. But look at this, Lapras, Hoopa going to go for a 90 and 80, but a lot of Unites being pumped right over there. Delphox finds a KO. Not just that, we will get to see a few more KOs coming in. The triple champion going all the way. Nothing useful coming in from that, but yes, a lot of pressure has been created from the players of Team Revenant Esports. With that lead, they were definitely looking good, but Yeshon retaliates, and with that, we do see a KO of that triple trample Dodrio.
Yeah, it was just one KO. As you can see, immediately Revenant decided to peel off and now move back in a defensive manner. Finally, as soon as their teammate is about to spawn, uses the rings unbound, causing trouble. They want to trap both Kael'Mon as well as Camille, chasing the players. If they get prod down right now, it's going to be a done game. Trying to run away from the fire spin. Prod finally manages to dodge it, but there's already the Rayquaza battle that has been indulged, and it's going to be a take from Hoopa and Learn from Past, unable to do anything. Vanquish was here and Vanquish was not here anymore. That's how it felt. Game is done. Revenant Esports secure this second game and clean this series off in their favor.
I mean, there's no looking back from here for Team Revenant Esports. What a play, man. A complete one-sided domination both in the first match and also in the second one. 876 to 166 in the previous matchup, and I do believe once again that 800 or 900 marker could be broken. 899 is where Team Revenant is sitting at right now. They can definitely go for scoring more. 913, 927, look at them. They're not even like risking themselves at this point. They're just getting all those goals done and dusted. Tensai going in for a set of another 20 goals probably, but even before that, Slowbro is going to find a KO of once again Vanquisher. So I have to say once again that Vanquisher definitely was able to uplift a lot of spirits for the team known as Learn from Past. But till then, I mean, that stack of the Buzzwole and the Cliffable definitely worked out in this particular match for the players of Team LFP. But it was not that on point because their squishy ones like Mew and Glacian was like not that on point when it comes to the fruitfulness.
I think they tried their best. I think Kalim had a better game here on Glaceon compared to Kael'Mon in its entirety. Kael'Mon has only 8 assists, not even a single knockout. Vanquisher gave his all. I think that man played as much as he could along with the helps of Prod. Also was a better game coming in from Alim as well on this Umbreon. The Mean Look did trap, but you could see even though the Mean Look had trapped players, it took multiple Mean Looks to find one KO. On the other end, Kid, I think brilliant play coming in on this Lapras, especially with the items that he had played, made sure that to drain health from him was super tough, and I think that focus band really worked out along with the slick spoon also that he had, and also made use of the stack of the special attack specs. Brilliant stuff being pulled out. Goku, in the early games, I'm pretty sure everybody will be laughing about it right as of now, that bro, your hyperspace hole, even in winning fights, it was taking us back to the base and kind of giving a chance for Learn from Past to recover. But one thing for sure that they were all fearing was Burzum's Fire Spin and Fire Blast. You could see as soon as there was a Fire Spin, everybody was running away from it. But great game from Apple as well. Scoring machine as well as a level difference that he had created. If he was on level 13, the maximum level that Learn from Past were at 12. If he reached out to be at level 14, it was level 13. So he was always one level up from his opponents.
I mean, not just that, even if you talk about Lapras Kid, he was at level 12 if I'm not wrong when Alim was just at level 9 and they were trying to take up a fight in the bottom lane, but they completely denied it because they knew that there is a level buff of 3 good levels and can't really deny that individual, that too when he's a defender who can take a lot of damage, who can sustain a lot of damage and also at the same point give it out. So for that reason, yes, Team Revenant was able to play their kites in a very vital way. They were able to utilize their strategies in a very big passion, and to be honest, for me, the highlight of this whole match was that steal of Regieleki in the like 7 minute and 56 second marker, because when they were able to get that advantage, their Hoopa and also if I'm not wrong, the Delphox was able to go for a score. Not Hoopa and Delphox, but Hoopa and Lapras was able to go for a score of somewhere around 170 points in their favor in the later stages, even when they didn't have the Rayquaza advantage. But at the end, what happened? They also stole the Rayquaza in their favor. What a play, man! What a play! All thanks to Hoopa.
Good stuff being done here. Quickly talking about the stacks that we kind of hope for. Again, Vanquisher not getting a lot, only early 2 stacks. Whereas on Dodrio, you could see 2 stacks did come through, after which it did not work out. So we could see that he tried to play things out a little bit slow. Apple, what did he do? Made sure he kept range, came in from the backlines, and his target was simple and clear. He was like, we have to get the ranged attacker, make sure that they are unable to carry the game forward, and he started taking them down. And at the same time, I think brilliant play coming in from Slowbro to keep that Delphox alive, right? There were instances, yes, that the Slowbro and Delphox game did not work out, but it was still enough to keep the bottom tier 1 goal zone alive, right? It did not get destroyed. They were able to keep it to a position where even a little of a, I would say, 10 AOS energy dunk would have destroyed it, but they did not let Learn from Past get that dunk. And that's how well I feel like Revenant kept things under control, even if there were situations where they were losing out. There was an instance when a level 8, level 9, level 8 Dodrio kind of got KO'd, and that's where levels immediately got equalized, and Dodrio immediately went back to leveling up on taking down the wild Pokemon and getting the experience back, and got the level difference again. So I think Revenant were smart on that, made sure that at least one of their players always had a level advantage.
I mean, they were trying to get at least one level up ahead from the opponents, but eventually their all individuals were looking a little bit more decent when it comes to that level buff. And that is something which Revenant was able to completely cash in onto in the later stages. And when you talk about the steal on that Rajali, you talk about that Rayquaza advantage that they were able to get all thanks to that Hoopa. They were farming their Unites, they were farming their right abilities for the right time period. That was the best part for Team Revenant Esports, because if you remember, LFE was definitely going for the contestment, but eventually in the bottom lane, when they were trying to go for the goals, they were trying to utilize their Unites so that they can make a clear difference, which was not a very good strategy, to be honest. You have to farm it out so that when the right time comes, you can get those KOs or at least steal some individual Pokemons or some individual legendary Pokemons, to be honest. But that was not the case.
Right, as now Revenant, they're going to be moving ahead. Unfortunately, Learn from Past are done for Pokemon Unite India Open. We'll be looking forward to seeing them towards the world, but there's still more action left. One more best of 3 for the day right after this break.
Alright guys, back again with the final BO3 of day number 3 in the playoff stage of the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. My name is Jada. We do have Necros on the deck for this matchup. And Necros, what are your expectations between NDY versus Clown 5? Let me know.
I mean, so far we haven't seen NDY playing on stream. They have played a lot of matches offline, but as it seems, they lost their match on the upper brackets. That's why they have been pushed down to the lower brackets, and they will be fighting, I would say, the mighty Clown 5, because after the previous day's performance of the match that we saw, I cannot just say just Clown 5. I mean, they can just literally dominate like anything, and I will be expecting the same from their end as well. But I am really looking forward to see how these things will turn out, because we just saw Revenant Esports and Learn from Past, taking a fight against each other, and where Revenant finally won the match with a 2-0 score, and they have moved up to a low brackets round 3. They will be waiting for another team to come down from the match of probably FSC Sports and Forge Legacy, but the winner from this match of NDY and Clown 5, they will be moving forward to face against the mighty Team Griffin.
Well, yeah, definitely that will be a very interesting battle coming in. But I'm patiently waiting on how NDY is going to unfold and what kind of strategies they're going to bring. As Necros mentioned, that we have not yet seen any single matchup coming in on stream. And due to that reason, yes, I'm completely open to the books of how NDY is going to play and what kind of strategies they're going to pull up for the whole scenario of this lower bracket round number 2 in their favor. Because if they lose, they're outside the competition. And if they win, they're going to face off against the team known as Team Griffin, which has been dominating from the start in the winners bracket. But eventually, against True Gravity, their cards were not that right, and that's why they are now sitting at a place where they are not going to get the winners bracket round number 4 in their favor. So that was kind of a surprise for us as well, because the competition went literally very close in the first matchup today. But at the end, the result is pretty much clear. But now NDY versus Clown 5, we really have to see how the competition unfolds from here.
Exactly. A lot of expectations from Clown 5, as I will at least keep it, because when the match against Team SZ they came into play, we just saw it, that how a kind of dominating gameplay does this team actually carry up with. When the new players come in, we expect them to play a little passive, or maybe the approaches, or maybe those overextensions a bit less, because when it's a large scale tournament, you always tend to be a little bit more safer in terms of your gameplay, or in terms of your strategies. But it seemed to me that Clown 5 were not in a mood to just say that we will be going with a passive approach, or we will be just playing very very strategically. They went all berserk, they went all in with the kind of sheer dominance that their entire roster has. I just wonder,
Yeah.
like 24 KOs as far as I remember on that Leafeon that we saw earlier in this tournament.
I mean, that was something mesmerizing to watch, to be honest. That many kills from an individual coming in, also with that assist combination, was also very, very amazing. So
Yeah.
I definitely have to see how that whole scenario is going to unfold when you talk about teams like NDY and Clone5, because they had that second chance and now they're trying to utilize that. There is nothing to look back when they lose, particularly this particular matchup, because if they lose, yes, they're outside the competition, like teams like SZ Sports, if I'm not wrong, even Team SATL is outside the competition. So there are going to be a lot of faces who are going to get eliminated, who are going to get disqualified. But this is a learning curve. I do believe there is going to be a lot of learnings coming in from this corner. And as we did saw Revenant losing from the winners bracket against their own opponent, but then today the way they fought back in the match number 2 was absolutely amazing. They had a scoreline of somewhere around 800 to 900 in every single matchup, which was absolutely amazing. But now looking forward to see the first draft phase of this match number 3 today. Hopefully this might actually go to the decider, because we want to see that thrilling competition between both the teams. But let's see if there is going to be a dominating stance coming in from those individuals.
Exactly. Looking forward to what the draft phase awaits us, because yes, we will be hopping into that for sure. But expecting a Zacian man, that's very common. But now, as we speak, it's Umbreon that is being banned by the side of LFT at this point. LFT, I won't say, but from the other team. Now it all comes down to this final kind of composition that they're looking forward to. Void picks up the Mew on the very first pick, not letting it slip away into the hands of the opposition, and it can be really, really something bothering because of that solar beams.
Well, yeah, definitely it can be very interesting to watch how the whole play is going to unfold, because if you talk about the individuals of Clown 5, they've already chosen some decent Pokemons in their favor. They've got a defender, they've got a Cliffable as well. On the other corner, we do have a squishy attacker coming in, and that's going to be Void, who's going to choose the Mew. And also the Ban of Umbreon is kind of decent, to be honest, but at the end I really have to see how that is going to unfold, because that Hoopa play from the start of this playoffs, to be honest, was absolutely amazing. Even in the match of Revenant Esports versus the other individual LFP, we did saw that Hoopa being the wonderful champ of the whole match because of those turning down moments of those whole rotations, and the hyperspace host was absolutely adamant on the fact that the team was able to relocate themselves and then they were able to fight back. But yes, looking at team Clown 5 now, we do have a Blastoise and a Slowbro as the defending defenders coming in from this particular team. Inteleon will be the attacker. Again, Felstinger and the snapshots could be the best thing that they can really go with, but really have to see how that usage of utilities and abilities are going to come. On the same side, if you talk about the team known as which is sitting on the purple corner, it's going to be LFT Stray, and Adi going to go for Blissey, if I'm not wrong. So that's interesting.
I mean, when you see this kind of picks, and specifically Trevenant coming into the play as a double defender composition alongside Lapras, the front line seems to be like the Boinks will hurt. I mean, you don't have a counter, you don't have a Sings if he's going with a Dodrio pick. I don't know. I mean, it had worked in the past in today's game itself, but not taking Leafeon, making a different composition always might just work sometimes. And if you just talk about the Leafeon, who got 24 KOs in the last match that they played, was something very, very much troubling what Clown 5 could have put on the table. But Shrey going with a Chandelier, it's all coming down again. Those comfortable picks into the play. We just have one long range attacker coming up from the side of Clown 5, as Legion will be stepping with that Inteleon. Probably he might just be playing on that snipe shot, trying to make some good connections, because if Dodrio is there, if he stacks up a little bit fast, it can be a little bit problematic. But as we see that both the defenders, they have Curse and Sense as the new held item in their side, but in a comparison, even Shrey on Chandelier, he's also went up with those new held items, and whenever the new items or new Pokemons come into play, we see a major difference in the playstyle of all the players.
Definitely that is going to implicate on a lot of new things, because again, utilizing those new stats, utilizing those new things coming into favor like held items and also the battle items can definitely change the whole pace of the game. But this time, when it comes to supporters, we do see a Blissey coming in from the other team, and also from Clown 5's perspective, we do see a Cliffable coming in. No Hoopas, so I do believe that maneuverability in the whole map is not going to be that easy for these individuals. So I'm looking forward to see how the play is going to unfold, because again, stacking up can really work out, but who is going to be the one Pokemon that Blissey is going to stack up with? I do believe it's going to be Trevenant initially, but then it can be Chandelier as well, which can work out way too well with that combination of a Blissey and Chandelier. On the other corner, Cliffable might actually stick to Inteleon, or even Blastoise can be absolutely amazing on that note. But I do believe this competition might actually go for a 2-1, because again, looking at the combination, we can't really predict that which particular team is going to be a strong one, because both of the team have got their own type of Pokemons which are a little bit more inclined towards a defensive approach. So maybe that is going to be the case. But there you go, guys. The match is going to get ready, and eventually in 10 minutes we'll get to know who is the winner of the first match of the PO3 and who is going to take that initial lead in their favor. And yes, the competition begins, and it looks absolutely amazing, to be honest, because in the bottom lane we'll get to see two Pokemons. Like basically we have a Mew, and along with that a defender coming in. And apart from that, when you talk about the mid lanes, we will get to see the Dodrio from Team Clown 5 going to go for the evolutions.
Early jungle farming will be very important, specifically when you have a Blastoise also trying to stack up. Maybe he's not. I did not actually notice. My bad for that I did not notice whether he's going for the stack. But Cliffable sticking with him, trying to find out some early values or maybe those early scores, preventing it. Oh, the Whirlpool will do a lot of damage, but Cliff finds the 2 score for himself, while I believe the Squirtle, the tiny small Squirtle, is getting a lot of hurt at this point, and Lapras will find the first KO itself. As Clown 5 they have began with those scores already, but NDY will not be stopping it right here. Blissey comes up with a score of 5, while we see Squirtle coming back into the question. They will be just waiting for the right moment to strike in, while Mew, Chandelier as well as Trevenant will be playing in the bottom, while Trevenant will have a lot of support to play with.
Well, yeah, the contest definitely looks good, but right now they are trying to go for those alternating swap blues so that they can have that XP buff. And look at that, Clown5 loses one more, and eventually Slowbro, even before going out, he was able to get that KO onto the Trevenant, if I'm not wrong. But Chandelure gets one more, and it's going to be a KO streak coming in for the individual Mew. Amazing play coming in, and they are definitely looking forward to secure many more. And they've got 40 good goals, so they are looking forward to create that lead in their favor. And if they are able to do that, that will be absolutely amazing. But once again, the focus on evolving is actually going to be the main case for all the individuals. But on the other corner, if we talk about KO, yes, the Lapras looks good at level 5. He's definitely going to go for a few more scores. But right now, the stacking up scenario with the Blissey along with the Lapras definitely looks good.
Seems to me that the mid lane and specifically those Altarian swap blues in the legendary pit was contested, but eventually that was won by the side of NDY. They're giving a little bit of tough competition because if you see in the terms of score, they've already leveled up to they had already 40 scores in their name. And only if you talk about Obito trying to hold on the tier 1 gold zone, but there's a a complete gang pull-up coming up from the side of NDY, while Cliffable will be trying to assist him down the scores. They're trying to prevent it, but it's not that easy. He's playing on those water sprouts, probably on the rapid spin when it will be coming active in level 7, but still, I mean, when you go with those rapid spin and water sprout, it does a lot of damage, but this kind of swap blues in Ulteria fights, you have to win it to gain more XP for yourself, but those overheat is giving a lot of damage to the players of Clown5 at this point.
Oh yeah, the damage definitely is coming in. Dojo on the other corner finds a support up coming in, and with that KO in the mid lane, definitely things will change and it is going to be in a rapid pace. But right now, if we talk about the contestment, it's going to be for the Regirock in the bottom lane. Dojo will be coming here or here. Even the Altarian swap blue is actually the question, but these players are going to stick so that they can have the advantage of that Regirock in their favor. The Trevenant comes in so that he can go for those points, but the Solar Beam can be absolutely chaotic. Look at that, Dojo finds to Dojo actually manages to steal that advantage for the team of Team Clown5 on the other corner. Team NDY is still there with the lead. Trevenant finds Slowbro out of the equation. The tanks are actually not working out, but at the same point, Xanax is pretty much confident that he's going to get level up pretty soon because he's focusing a little bit more onto the jungle so that they can evolve. But look at that, what a pick from Chandelier. The KO definitely is going to change a lot of things, but the triple trample was not that fruitful, to be honest. And now Xenix is actually at a very low amount of HP, but he's going to go in the flux zone of enemy and eventually get all those citrus berries so that he can heal up fast and eventually be back for a fight. And look at this. Xenix is going to completely rotate to the top lane where Lapras is waiting eagerly for him to meet. And there you go, the damage will be coming in through the water spouts.
I really feel bad for Sinks at this point. By missing that Unite again, not able to stop the Mew, it's giving them a lot of trouble. There's already a big difference, and every time the Altarian swap blues are coming into the play, Clown5, they're not able to capitalize it. I don't know why, what is going wrong for them, but the liquidation does a lot of damage to Trevenant at this point. Those serve could have actually ended the run for Trevenant, but he manages to fall back thanks to the flux zone. But that Solar Beam is going to give a lot of damage, and now Clown5, they're able to make some scores as the Mystical Mirage comes into the play, trying to give a lot of damage, and specifically Slowbro. He commits the Unite at this point, trying to flush out some good damage, but the Hornleash comes into the play. The Trevenant boinks and instantly shuts off. Probably at this point he's given a lot of damage. There's not a big level difference between both the teams, but the level 10 Chandelier can be very, very much troubling for this case. But Clown5 finds an opportunity and gets one of the scores down in the tier 1 gold zone of top lane for NDY.
With that goal, yes, the lead is now not looking that big as it was looking initially in the first few minutes. But now, still, guys, we are already in the halfway, and we will get to see a lot of contestment coming in the bottom lane because there is nobody really concerned about taking that Reggie Eliki their way. But yes, the Reggie Ice is now at the concern, and look at that, a lot of melting down scenario will be coming in, a lot of contestment is there. Oh, the Cliffable is right over there amidst all of that action, but the Mew! He gets a KO onto that Dodrio. I was thinking like maybe he's going to get the advantage of that Reggie Ice as well, but no, it's going to be the Lapras. Not just that, NDY is going to find another KO, and it's going to be the Slowbro. Not just that, we will get to see Inteleon also going out of the equation, although Inteleon has got that level buff, but still not enough. Blastoise goes in with the Hydro Typhoon, but still was not able to be that successful. And the tier 1 gold zone in the bottom lane is going to get destroyed, and this time the triple trample is definitely going to suffocate a lot of players. It's going to push down a lot of players, but still there is going to be only a single individual KO coming in. But finally, the Blissey goes home.
Obito is tanking a lot of damage at this point, instantly needs a heal, but Cliffable's Moonlight goes for a cooldown. The Solar Beam is still giving a lot of impactful damage towards the end of Clown5. The level difference is making a factor. NDY, they have got the objectives, and that is making a big difference. The 40 score coming up from the side of NDY to completely breach the tier 1 goal zone of the top lane, but instantly Obito comes into the play. Two of the goal zones of Clown5 has been completely shattered into the pieces, but Clayfable, he has to make a fallback. There is no more option. Doju is still there invading the jungles of NDY, but at this point a lot of scores will be required. Commits a Unite at this point. Clayfable can also give a lot of damage, but the Moonlight comes into the play, giving the healings that is required for the Trio, instantly trying to get the Chandelier down, but was completely unable as Inteleon also comes up with his 5 vision.
Oh, Team Clown5. This time, yes, they were looking unstoppable, but look at them getting pushed out of the equation. And yes, there are multiple KOs coming in, but thankfully it's going to be the Chandelier who's going to get out of the equation. KO streaks are being made at this point. Inteleon finds the Trevenant as well. This leaves the bottom lane, first goal zone to be precise, pretty much unguarded, and that's exactly why this goal zone is about to get destroyed. But let's see if that is going to be the case. Yes, indeed, a dump of 50 goals are going to be there, and with that, Inteleon manages to once again completely close off the gap that was there between NDY and Clown5 initially. And with that, we are now patiently waiting for that Reggie, Niki, and also the Rayquaza contestment that might actually come in the later stages. But the Reggie steal is now at concern. It's going to be the Clown5 who's going to steal it away, because there is no such contestment coming in right over here. Inteleon gets it, and with that advantage, I do believe the Rayquaza fight is going to be a little bit more easy. But this is the exact strategy what Revenant was able to utilize against Team LFE in the second match. They're going to melt down the sixth one. The Reggie Eliki, to be honest, it is going to be the sixth Pokemon for that team working it out, and they're going to go straight up to have that advantage. Meanwhile, if Team Clown5 is going to get concerned over that goal zone, what the players of Team NDY can do is completely steal the advantage of that Rayquaza. So let's see what kind of approach is going to be beneficial for them, because now Blastoise really has to make a move. Blastoise has to go from the bottom lane, from the mid lane to be precise, to go for some more goals. But look at Clown5's Trio patiently waiting. Once that fight of Rayquaza is going to get initiated, he's going to go for a lot of goals. Trevenant goes in for the Unite, and with that, the Solar Beams are coming in. Yes, things are changing, but his Trio is getting the best out of it.
Oh, that continuous healing from the side of Clip. Instantly shields pops in as well. The Solar Beam might just give a lot of damage, but instantly backs off. Dodrio is still in the bottom lane, can give a lot of impactful damage, but look at the players of Clown5. They are draining. They need the healing. Clippable needs to stay alive till the very end. The Solar Beam trying to flush down and clear the long grasses in the legendary pit. It's going to be a big contest, and now those wooden hammers will give a lot of damage, but instantly the Blastoise comes in, triple trample will give a lot of damage. Inteleon finds the Trevenant down as well. The Lapras is still there into the play. Chandelier goes down. We see the Mew going down. Lapras goes down as well. And last but not least, the Blissey was there, but it's a complete team KO coming up from the side of Clown5 as NDY takes an exit, giving a perfect opportunity for Clown5 to bell this Rayquaza down, because there is still a plenty amount of time to go for the scores, and this is now Clown5. They have made the comeback. They will have a lot of time, a lot of room to go with those big scores, and still they have got 34 more to go. They want to go with the overtake, and they will be able to do it no matter what. And 382 the scoreline where it settles, while still there is still more of shields to come and play with.
Yes, indeed, they can go easily for a scoreline of more than 800 points in their favor, because look at Slowbro. Yes, his shield has been broken, so that is something which is going to be scary for those individuals, but eventually the Cliffable support is absolutely mesmerizing to watch. Even another KO will be coming in from the Trio. What a score that is there from Team Clown5. From the start, they were getting oppressed, but now the way they bounce back was absolutely amazing. And look at this flash that is there in the base lane goal zone. Another set of few amazing goals will be coming. Another set of 22 was there, but Trio finds one more, and it's going to be Lapras. He's not going to stop over there. He's going to score 4 more, and with that, I believe the scoreline will be pretty close to 700 if I'm not wrong from Clown5. And NDY on the other corner had nothing to say, nothing to put forth really in the later stages. And 686 is where Team Clown5 is going to hold off, and NDY right over there with 193.
Oh man, what a last minute game. Joy giving a 10 assists in his name. We can also see Obito, like both the defenders, they have tanked a lot of damage. I have to say it. I mean, every time Obito stepped in with that rapid spin and the water sprouts combination, dropping in, giving a plenty amount of damage to the oppositions, was literally worth watching. But Sings, who was not able to perform very much from the early game, even missing the Unites 1 or 2 times, finally stepped in with those hefty scores and hefty blows towards the side of NDY. And with that being said, we can just say that Clown5, they did not have a very dominating start, but itself we can say they do have a win, and that too in a very nice manner, going with a complete team KO in the final stretch. They do have a lot of more things to show us up, but if we talk about in the terms of damage, 1 lakh has been crossed by Void on the Mew with those solar beams, but Legion, he was not way too behind. We see him on 91,752. It was also close to 92,000 of total damage.
Well, indeed, look at the amount of support, amount of recovery that Cliffable is able to dish out. Absolutely amazing play coming in. And that stack along with the Blasters and also with the Inteleon was absolutely amazing. I mean, Cliffable was running all the way in the whole mid lanes because he really wanted to actually get the best out of it, and eventually that support really worked out. Not just that, there were a few KOs also coming in from Blissey, but to be honest, the team effort somehow get lagged in the later stages, and NDY was unable to get that advantage. And as I said, that strategy of putting down that Reggie Leaky could have been absolutely amazing, but they could have easily capitalized on it. They could have actually decided that one or two players, like maybe a Lapras or even a Trevenant, could have actually gone over there so that they could have scored a little bit of those goals. So that advantage and also the pressure could have been there on the players of Clown5. But at the end, Clown5 manages to clutch that moment out, and they were able to completely destroy the whole individuals. And if I'm not wrong, there was a complete team KO coming in. Not even a single player from Team NDY which was left in the legendary pit. All the individuals were taken down, and at the end, what really happened was Clown5 all over dominating. They were able to completely have that Rayquaza advantage. Then they broke down the tier 2 goal zones in the top lane and in the bottom lane as well, and after that the base goal zone was also pretty much opened up, although we did miss on a 100 coming in from Slowbro because his shield was pretty much broken. As a tank, he was definitely trying to create an opportunity for his teammates, and he did it very fruitfully.
And that being said, I will just say that in the early game, NDY had a brilliant control. Even till the 8th minute, everything was going fine and well until unless those sneaky scores came in. Even after getting two objectives, that is one Registeel and Regirock, Clown5 were struggling with the scores in the early game because the trio was not allowed to perform to its limits. He was getting oppressed a lot of times, but still in the end game, he did find the value that he was seeking for. And when the Rayquaza came into the question, everything was all in the favor of Team Clown5. There is nothing more that NDY could have done in that case. And that being said, the first match definitely was a kind of a roller coaster, a thriller one in this case, because for NDY, it all seemed like it was all under control. They had the entirety of idea what Clown5 they were about to do and the next move that they were about to plan. But in the later stages, it seemed to me when that Rio got back his confidence with those KOs, and after missing those unites, it seemed to me that his confidence was a little bit down. But when he went back, or maybe his teammates just shelled him up, he was just insane, and that Rio played a big X factor in this case.
I mean, I do remember that Rodeo play coming in as you were talking about in the Legendary Pit. We did saw that kind of approach coming in, and eventually that triple trample definitely changed a lot of things. That Unite move was able to dish out a lot of damage onto the individuals coming in from Team NDY, and due to that they were lacking in terms of HP, and they were a little bit like, let's say, scattered at that point. And eventually the other team, Clone5, was able to completely capitalize on that stance, and due to that, yes, they were able to perform on the peak. And now let's talk about the highlights as well, because we'll get to see that brief moment where a lot of interesting play came in. And as you do see from the start, it was Team NDY who was getting the capitalization, who had that lead, was able to initially go for 193 points. But in the later stages, things started to capitalize in the favor of Team Clown5. And the way they did it was a team effort coming in, was those slow view picks coming in. And also not just that, we did saw a lot of interesting approaches from the Slowbro, and the Blasters also was able to get a lot of output. Look at this. In this particular moment, the triple tramper definitely missed initially before this particular triple tramper came in. But in the later stages, yes, the level buff came in, and this is the moment. This is the moment where we were talking about that Rodeo being phenomenal.
Exactly. I mean, the trio went berserk even after that. The way everything was pushed towards the end, NDY, like, it seemed to me they lost the control after in the very final stretch. After one or two KOs was done by the side of, I would say, the side of Clown5. Everything just shattered. Specifically when the Mew got taken down, the all-rounder, the back long-range attackers were taken down, then Trevenant went down, the Boinks were not coming, the healer was the only, like, Brissy was the only one standing till the very end. Both of those defenders, like the Lapras as well as Trevenant, were unable to function, or they were not given that much room to, bring up a lot of value. Then the Mew went down and everything just went south for the side of NDY. But I'm really hoping that in the next match, that is going to be in the second match of this BO3 series, which will be a do or die for the side of NDY. If they don't win it,
True.
they will be out of this India Open 2023. But if they win that match, they will still remain into the competition, keeping themselves alive for a chance to qualify or for the next round in the lower brackets.
I mean, obviously, when you are in the lower bracket, there is a sense of pressure coming in because you don't have any second chances coming in. Yes, in the situation of a BO3, you can slip off for a bit. You can lose the first match or you can lose the second one after winning the first one. Then you might actually bounce back in the decider third match coming in. But there is no looking back if you lose two chances, two matches to be precise in a BO3 situation. So for that reason, NDY definitely has to capitalize because there's a lot of pressure that is coming in onto their faces because the Clown5 was definitely able to capitalize in the later phases, and that was the best type of approach coming in where Clown5 was able to decipher what Team NDY was trying to do and how they can break that chain of thought coming in from Team NDY and how that player can be suppressed, to be honest, because those triple trampers initially was getting missed. The Slowbro was not that effective. The Blastoise and the Hydro Typhoon missed a lot in the initial stages, and they were unable to get that whole command in the top lane, and also in the bottom lane the tier 1 goal zone was completely broken down initially, and due to that, yes, there was a very interesting lead coming in from the players of Team NDY from the start. But eventually, in the later stages, things started to change. But let's see how that change is going to get implicated, because now we are going to dive into the draw phase of match number 2 in the final match of day number 3 of playoffs in the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. The ban phase will give us an idea of which are the two Pokemons getting banned. This time, it's not going to be an Umbreon, it's going to be an Inteleon and a Zacian coming in from both the teams. And if I'm not wrong, Clown5 is going to ban the Inteleon, and on the other corner, NDY has an answer in return, and it's going to be the Zacian ban.
Clown5, after winning this previous match, they've decided to let's bring the Mew on our side. We have faced it against us, but let us show how the Mew is actually being played. Because if you talk about, yes, the damage was done by done in the previous match by the Mew from the side of NDY, but still, at this point, having a Mew with the Solar Beam can always benefit you a lot of time. But we see Loren going with the Slowbro, Adi going with the Cliffable, a good combination for them, while the Hoopa will be coming into the play for Babu this time. Not went for the Cliffle because it was already picked by Adi, and Joy goes with the Trevenant.
Well, for now, I do believe that Buzzwole combination along with that Cliffable can definitely be quite chaotic from the perspective of Team NDY. But really have to see how that whole individual play is going to unfold, because they do have a speedster for now, and it's going to be a Leafeon coming in. Chandelure and Obito might actually stick to an all-rounder or a defender. Yeah, there you go. The defender will be coming in pretty soon. I do believe it's going to be Lapras, and there you go. It gets confirmed. But we are going to see a different approach. It's going to be the Petal Dance Venusaur coming in. Maybe Petal Dance is going to get chosen, or maybe the Solar Beam will be coming in. We really have to see how that play is going to unfold along the way when the match gets started. Shrey on the other corner is the last one to choose. What he is going to pick is going to be a attacker, I believe, because he has got every single Pokemon, every single type of Pokemon, to be honest. A supporter is there. Okay, he's not going to take an attacker, he's going to stick with an all-rounder. That's going to be Urshifu.
Now, if we just talk about Urshifu, in the previous time when we saw him coming into the play, Urshifu was not that much valuable. Every time it came or tried to find a lot of value for himself, because after the surging strikes got nerfed, the impact that this all-rounder can make has been very, very much nerfed. Alongside Buzzwole, it might work out, but again, once again, it's going to be a very, very big move coming up from the side of NDY, picking up with that Buzzwole as well as the Urshifu combination, both the double all-rounder composition for themselves. But that being said, a double defender is still there. I will say that the entire lineup from the side of Clown5 seems to be a little bit more promising in this case, but we also see a Curse Bangle getting used in Trevenant this time. So I will be very, very much excited to see what does this match has to offer to us as an audience or as a casters.
This match can give us an insight that who is the team who is going to move on to the lower bracket round number 3, and who is the team who is going to have that learning curve, a big one to be honest, for Pokemon Unite India Open 2024. Because eventually if you lose this match, you're going to be out of the equation, and then the approach is going to be of a learning one, because again there are some blunders being made, and that's why you are actually at a position where you are going to get eliminated. But moving forward, both the teams are pretty much ready. We'll get to see a lot of interesting approaches coming in. When you talk about the battle items, we do see a lot of eject buttons, and also along with that we'll get to see the XP potion being delivered. But the next 10 minutes can really dictate a new storyline. We might actually see a decider from the start. I've been craving for a decider today. I mean, you and Lucifer really got to see a decider in the first match today, but eventually for me it was a 2-0 between Revenant and LFP.
I mean, that was literally something confusing at that point because Griffin and True Gravity, everybody, like, both of the side are like TG only. I mean, True Gravity was TG, so Team Griffin is
Team
TG
Griffin
as well.
is TG.
So, yeah, so both of the teams have their own Gs coming in, but at least at last it was a GG for one team. I mean, you can just expect them to drop down the lower bracket. So it's a lot of a long journey for Team Griffin to, you know, try and come up again in the grand finals because they're still left to confirm their slot in the lands. But it seems NDY, they will be starting it off early with those early stacks coming up from the side of Buzzwole, and there is nobody to actually stop it. But wait, what? Hello, slow bro. I know you're a true bro, but it doesn't mean you will be invading the jungle this early.
Well, he is going to do everything from his possible corner so that he can get that edge into his favor. Clown5 on the other corner, definitely trying to step up because they already have an advantage and they're trying to capitalize on it. Have to really see how this competition is going to unfold, and we will get to see a lot of interesting abilities being utilized. If we talk about the petal dance, maybe that will be coming in pretty soon. But I really have to see if that solar beam is going to be effective enough or not because both of those approaches are in the same exact team. It's going to be Clown5 who has got it, and even the Hoopa can change a lot of things. But yes, the Cliffable along with that Buzzwole. That is the exact strategy they're going to stick up to. But this Hoopa is going to run for her life. I run for his life, to be honest. I definitely have to see how this approach is going to work out. But he's going to go and score 6, and then he might actually back out. Shrey on the other corner is now in the jungles of the opponent. It's a situation where Clown5 might be able to hunt him down. But the players are a little bit more concerned about the mid lanes because they do know that the alternate Swablu is about to come pretty soon.
Urshifu is just there to steal the boss of Clown5 at this point and not allowing them to, you know, level up as fast as possible. But Venusaur got taken down and the mid lane contention is going to go big. But Lapras finds the clippable. The hyperspace hole was activated, but actually it was there for clippable to go make a fallback, and he does it pretty nicely. But Urshifu, the mission he was on was completed while the Trevenant and Mew will be starting to stop him down. The light screen might just affect him a little bit, but still the points are still not coming on the way. It was there, it was much more than it was needed, but the Solar Beam will does do the damage that it was required. But Urshifu, that KO was very, very much important for the side of Clown5, but instantly Joy will have to go for a reset and instantly come back into the mid lane thanks to the hyperspace hole that is helping them with the fast rotations.
I mean, Hoopa has been the phenom who has actually changed a lot of stuff in the whole game, and that's why I do believe having a Hoopa in this particular matchup, Clown5 is definitely trying to nail their victory. But I really have to see how that victory is going to unfold. Look at that. Again, scoring a 4 and then eventually teaming back is going to be the case for the Hoopa. Yes, he's getting infected by a lot of damage. Trevenant comes in, gonna go for a boing, but eventually was unable to be fruitful enough. But at the same point, Clown5 on the top lane was able to completely destroy Buzzwole, and with that, yes, the top lane is kind of opened up. Oh, look at this. The dumb down scenario is going to be there. A complete stacking up onto the top lane, and yes, with that, the Tier 1 gold zone in the top lane is completely destroyed. Regieleki, the 6th ally for the team of Clown5, is awaiting to get melted, and Lapras and Mew are coming up with a combined effort. Pretty soon that Solar Beam can actually cook him alive, and there you go, Mew finds the Regieleki advantage, and at the same point in the bottom lane, we do see a contestment coming in of Clown5 and Team NDY so that they can have the Regi steal in their favor. Trevenant going for the boings, and yes, he's working it out way too fruitfully. And also with the supporter, with the help of that Hoopa, things might change, but no, the Leafeon, the speedster comes in with his own attack, and not just that, Mew is also going to get compromised, and I do believe Hoopa might actually get 1 or 2, but he's actually in a very nervous mode because there are 3 individuals from that same team who are working it out, but Hoopa finds 2 KOs. Lapras is going to go back to the base so that he can have that HP. Citrus Berry is in the favor of Urshifu, is trying to fight back and safeguard the bottom lane Tier 1 gold zone.
At this point, that Registeel being secured by Clown5 will find a lot of value, but Mew finds Urshifu at that point. A lot of moves being dumped out there, but the boing coming up from the big Solar Blade will not find a lot of impact, but that Solar Beam will do a lot of damage at that point. A double Q streak coming up from the side of Mew shuts down the Leafeon, and instantly the Slowbro was also forced down to go back and go for a reset in the spawn. But Lapras and the sheer domination Clown5, which they are known for, they're just ganging up in the bottom lane. Nobody to contest. A lot of Unites being dumped at this point, but still could not find a lot of value. Double Q streak for Venusaur once again, and this is the tier 2 being breached by the players of Clown5 in the bottom lane, while it's a pure domination coming up. Look at the level difference. They're trying to already make it up. Level 11 Venusaur and Lapras and a level 10 Mew is all what they need to come up and make a difference against NDY.
What a level buff coming in from the players of Clown 5. What a way to evolve, what a way to step up onto the notch. Even the Speedster was not that effective, to be honest, initially for the players of NDY, but now he's at level 10, and even the Urshifu, the heavy hitter, is also going to be at level 10, so maybe things might change from here. But Hoopa, Lapras, that combination is just a phenomenal combination coming in, and they are getting a lot of KOs onto the individuals of NDY, and this time NDY really does not have anything to answer back. Again, the Regieleki is at the concern, and I do believe it's going to be Clown 5's Regieleki pretty soon. There might be a seal by the Rayquaza. Oh, sorry, my bad. It could be a seal coming in from the Urshifu, and also the Clefable combination that is there. Buzzwole again getting denied. I really have to see what happens, but there you go. Regieleki could be contested pretty soon. A lot of chaos, a lot of units being dumped. Rings and Bound has been opened, and with that, Hoopa is going to go straight up for the base lane goal zone. Not the base lane, I believe the tier 2 goal zone is still active in the top lane, so that is something which can be very, very focused by the players of Team NDY, and eventually Clown 5 is trying to make a move towards that angle. The serve comes in from Slowbro, not enough to completely put the players down. In the flux zone is going to be the status of Wolf trying to hold it off.
Oh, it's going to be a big job for them, even for Clown 5. They want to push it so badly, but Trevor needs to make a fallback, unlocks it for commits the Phantom Forest right here, right now. Could not find a lot of big value, but instantly will be completely KO'd by Slowbro. Another set of Unite moves being dumped here. There's still a lot of time for them to gain it back. Once again, for the Regieleki push, it's going to be very important. They want to get and destroy this tower as well. The Leafeon is desperate with the Solar Blade alongside the Buzzwole finds a lot of value, while the Regieleki cannot be pushed much more further. They are faced out of consequence, and it's better for Clown 5 to back off and just focus on leveling themselves up a bit more time, while the NDY do have a focus. Go for some heavy scoring. They're going on the way. They're already going at the scores. Tried to come up with some bonkers, but would not be able to do it. But still, he finds the Leafeon. Instantly, the Buzzwole also shuts down the very low HP. A counter attack coming from the side of Clown 5.
Wow.
Seems undoubtedly very strong.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, total control was there for the players of Team NDY in the top lane, but eventually, all of a sudden, that hyperspace hole got created, and eventually, with that, things started to completely crumble down. What a play coming in from the individuals of Team Clown 5. That Hoopa is definitely working its way up, and at the same point, Mew is getting some serious KOs. Look at the level buff that Lapras has got. He's at level 14. There is nobody even close to level 13 coming in from the individuals of Team NDY. That is something which is going to be quite scary for the players of Team NDY. On the other corner, Clown 5 is about to reach their maximum level, but even before that, what they have to do is get that Regieleki so that they can completely push out and give a lot of pressure onto the players of NDY for the top lane and also the base lane goal zone. And if they get it, I do believe the Rayquaza contestment is going to be even more surreal. But look at this, the Petal Dance is active. Lapras is also going to come with his own approaches, and with that, yes, Hoopa is also pretty much over there for the supporter, and the Regieleki is about to get melted. There is no contestment coming in. It's the Mew with the Solar Beam who is going to take it away for the team of Clown 5. Yes, and with that advantage, I do believe it's going to be a game for Clown 5 if they are able to safeguard the whole presence of that Rayquaza. If they're able to completely deny it or maybe capitalize on it, I do believe it's going to be a game for Team Clown 5 to win.
A 72 score coming up from Urshifu, a sneaky one, but he did not find a lot of value. The Solar Blade also misses it, but still a 100 score coming up from the side of Lapras. Destroys the tier 2 goal zone from the top lane, but instantly NDY. There's a big difference in the means of scores, and the points coming on from the side of Trevenant misses the Hondies, that's for sure, but the Solar Beam was also dodged by Buzzwole. Cliffable needs to go down. If he goes down, it will create a big impact, but still, Shifu is just taking the positions towards the areas of jungle and trying to find a lot of value. Unite moves being dumped all in this very place, and instantly Clippable shuts down the Venusaur. The Solar Beam is damaging a lot. Shifu is barely breathing at this point. Will be needing a lot of gold scores.
Oh, the Mew
secures it for the side of Cloud 5, and that's a deep KO coming up from the side of Cloud 5 against NDY. Then there's nothing more to do, and that's a complete surrender as NDY. They will be taking an exit from Pokemon Unite India Open 2023, while Clown 5 will still continue their journey in the lower brackets on to the next round.
Amazing play coming in. They force their opponent to make a surrender, to come up with a surrender because of that Rayquaza steal. And even before that, those Regieleki advantages that they were able to get, a complete stacking up scenario, and also thanks to that Hoopa, Babu was able to completely change the tone of the game, and he was able to completely capitalize on it. Obitha, look at him at level 15. There is just Stray and Void who were at level 13, to be honest. Still, there was a level above level buff of 2 good levels between these two giants. Amazing play coming in from the individuals of Clown 5. Not a way to really make sure to be in the round, in the lower bracket, round number 3 to be precise. And yes, this competition absolutely looks surreal. And due to that, NDY is now eliminated, as you said, Nikros.
It's going to be a big blow, but definitely the way they played. Joy coming with 17. Look at the assist numbers. It's like 22, 20. Obito and always the double defenders doing a fantabulous job. But just imagine, Hoopa is having 7 KOs in his name. Alongside, if we talk about Legion, he's got 9. Obito has got 8. A sheer domination coming up from the side of Clown 5. Ganged up every time it was needed and not going with those individual plays. But as a team, they earned those victories, they earned those battles that they went in all to find a lot of values. And definitely for the counter attack, NY did not have anything to offer. There was no such long range attackers to provide a lot of support. Cliffable was only there to heal Urshifu as well as Buzzball. Speedster move was definitely not how you would love to walk out with, but still in the entirety of the composition, I really believe that NY, they actually messed it up very badly.
True, man. I mean, a lot of stuff from Team and Device perspective was going wrong. Be it the level evolution and also the support coming in from the Cliffable. To be honest, that stacking up scenario onto the Buzzball of Cliffable would have really worked out, but eventually that Hoopa changed all of the game for Team Clown 5 perspective, because whenever the stack was coming in from Buzzball and that Hoopa, Buzzball and the Cliffable stack up was working out, I believe at that point the hyperspace holes was completely changing the whole game, because then Lapras, Trevenant, and also the Venusaur, which was there in the mid lanes, was able to completely capitalize on that notch, and eventually that whole stacking up scenario coming in from NDY was getting destroyed. Yes, Adi was able to come up with a phenomenal amount of damage taken, also the recovery was quite good from his perspective. But then again, if you talk about the attackers, to be precise, there were no attackers coming in from the individuals of NDY, but they did had 2 strong all-rounders in the favor who could have come back with a lot of heavy hits. But eventually look at Buzzball, 29,000, that's all he has got. On the other corner, the attackers coming in from Clown 5, a little bit on the higher note, as we do see 70,000 plus damage coming in from Legion and Cynics, and even Obito going all the way up to 82,000. Amazing play coming in. Even the defender was dishing on the right amount, dishing on to the players of the NDY in a very good pace, and he was able to provide a lot of HP damage, and he was able to inflict a lot of damages onto the individuals of Team NDY. And due to that, yes, now NDY is out of the existence. And if you talk about the set moves, a lot of unites in the later stages, but from NDY's perspective, those unites were utilized to really clear off the sides so that they can actually go for some goal scorings, and also to deny the opponent of Clown 5 to really capitalize on it. But look at this, the graph is going to be a little bit more shorter, because again, at 8 minutes and 26 seconds type of marker, we did saw a surrender coming in after the Rayquaza was stolen by Clown 5.
Everything was going on point for Clown 5. There was not a single chance that we can just point or say that yes, this is where they fumbled. Yes, from the start, anyway, they came up with some pretty good scores, couple of scores for themselves. But Clown 5, the amount of difference that they made just in like a 2.5 minutes when it was passed in this down in this match. Those objective fights, every time you can see they have got 3 Regieleki secured in their name, while 2 Registeel in their name as well. So almost all the objectives that spawned, all the Regis that spawned, was there in the name of Clown 5. Not giving a single chance for NDY to contest or snatch it away from their hands was definitely a big move. And I would just say that after winning like this without giving your opponent a lot of room, you just know that you do have a lot of skills, and you do have much more things to show the entire world.
Oh man, definitely. I mean, when it comes to showcasing their talent, Clown 5 definitely is doing that, and they were able to completely get a good strategy in their favor, and they were able to play by the book, and they were able to completely deny the fact that their opponents were also looking forward for a redemption match in their favor. Because if they would have won this one, maybe there was a possibility that they could have actually dragged the match to the decider. I mean, the decider would definitely have come, but eventually in that, maybe NDY could have really capitalized on it. But yeah, capitalizing on the momentum, it was the team known as Clown 5 who was able to completely read what the strategies are going to be. And eventually in the first match, when I didn't saw even a single Hoopa, I mean, not even a single team going for the Hoopa, I was a little bit scared that what is going to happen, because there was the supporter of a Blissey, and if I'm not wrong, a Cliffable coming in from both the individual team. The Clown 5 was sticking with the Cliffable, and on the other corner, Blissey was there in the favor of Team NDY. But in the second match, Team Clown5 decided in the first pick only that they're going to go with the Hoopa, because again, if you have that Hoopa, that hyperspace holds, and eventually the rings and bounds can completely change the whole game. That's exactly what we did saw in this particular matchup as well. NDY, they were trying to come up with a stack of that Cliffable and Urshifu, Cliffable and Buzzwole, but eventually it didn't work out because of the fact that they were fighting with the stack of 2 against the stack of 5, because the hyperspace holds was absolutely on point.
Exactly, the hyperspace hole was there on point, and Hoopa actually, the only reason he got those 8 KOs, 7-8 KOs for himself was I would say the important factor played that he came into the right moment where he was required. I mean, if you talk
True.
about the other cases in just the previous match, Sam was talking about his teammates would be very angry because every time he was just using the ring, like the hyperspace hole, to teleport his teammate back to the bases and get your
Yeah.
heals done. That was the exact moment his teammates were taking the fight, and they'd be like, "Bro, I was just about to get the KO. You just teleported me back to the
I
base.
remember
Why
that,
did
yeah.
you do that?" But I mean, this is how you should actually play. There are a lot of big
True.
masters, I would say, the trainers, the right word of Hoopa, who can play it very nicely. If you talk about Prod from the other teams, and Prod has always been one of my favorite players. If it comes down to that Hoopa play, his tactics or his play style always impressed me in the past. But now I really think that I need to change or shift my choices, because the new players that they're coming into the market showing their skills, and it's just something that we do not expect like this. But still, the main question, ladies and gentlemen, get your seat belts buckled up, because the brackets are getting more interesting, because as we see,
Oh, yeah.
True Gravity, they have moved up to the winner brackets round 4, which is the winner bracket finals. They will be waiting for one of the winners who will be walking up to the stage to face them, which will be decided after the match of FSC Sports and Forge Your Legacy gets done tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we will be waiting for which team out of these two will join Revenant Esports to play in the lower bracket round 3. So, after that, we will be getting to know, as we all know, that the winner brackets round 4, the lower brackets round 4, I mean, the winner bracket finals, the lower bracket finals, and the lower bracket round 4,
Yeah.
alongside the grand finals, will be played in a LAN mode. As that means all the players, they will be traveling it down, will be playing in front of the audience, and I mean,
Ooh.
that is going to be a big, big banger for all these players.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, for that, yes, we are pretty excited, but at the same point, I have to say, True Gravity, a phenom being destroyed at this point. I mean, the way they performed today in the first matchup was absolutely amazing. They were able to completely overthrow their opponent, although they had a small hiccup in the second match, if I'm not wrong, because Team Griffin was able to capitalize in it. But then again, in the later stages, in the third match, in the decider, True Gravity had a different strategy to play with. And with that, yes, now they have become the first team who was in the final, and now they are waiting for their opponent, who could be FSC Sports, who could be Fojo Legacy. But that is something we definitely have to see once the bracket unveils how that performance is going to be there. But apart from that, now it's Clown5 who has actually won a lower bracket round number 2 competition, but that doesn't mean that they are going to sit at a comfortable pace, because now their next battle is actually with Team Griffin, a team who is actually going to be like in a very big rage moment, to be honest, because they were very close to their victory. They were very close to their ticket to the LAN, but eventually now that is not the case. They are sitting in the lower bracket. There is still a long way to go. They might actually find their way back again. That redemption match between True Gravity and Griffin could be coming in the later stages, but in order to do that, they have to beat teams like Clown5 and the next upcoming teams who are going to get dragged in the lower bracket.
I mean, for Clown5's perspective, I don't know what kind of tactics or plans they have for Team Griffin at this point. I'm sure that they will be making or walking it overnight to be prepared for tomorrow's matches. But for me, if I was in the Clowns 5 team, I would just say that Team Griffin is a kind of a maths paper I don't want to solve. I mean,
Okay.
if you're not good at maths, you know how tough it is, like me. But then again, Team Griffin will be one of the most biggest hurdles for Clown 5 in the upcoming days. If they can win
Indeed.
against them and shatter the dreams of Team Griffin tomorrow, they will not just only be walking down or walking up the lane in the lower brackets, but also they will be confirming their slot in the LAN. I mean, you are a new team, newly formed team, coming with new players of this generation. Then you do
Yeah.
have a chance directly playing a big official tournament, that is India Open 2023, moving and onto the LAN, playing with new teams. Because if you talk about the experienced one, the only experienced teams I see at this point is probably
FS.
the few players is FS, that's for sure. Team True Gravity, they do have one or two players, but also other teams like Revenant and Griffin, they
Yeah.
have the most experienced players in this case. But eventually, I am just more pumped up for what actually awaits us tomorrow.
Well, again, tomorrow, I mean, that day is going to be absolutely impressive because we'll get to know what kind of competition is going to unfold. But today, it's done, guys. We got to see 3 interesting BO3s coming in today. And with that, it's me, Raider, and along with we do have Nikros on the desk. And with that, Lucifer was also there on the desk. And guys, this is a farewell for you for today. But tomorrow, the action will resume and we'll get to know what happens. But till then, guys, bye-bye. Peace out. Thank you for joining us.